It's all about the journey. And where are you going? Fire in my eyes, I keep on growing. This is a little personal, the LA Project Show.
Doctor? Doctor?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Oh, I'm small. Okay. Welcome in. Tell a friend.
Doctor?
Hey. I started a little bit early today. I know the time said 11:45, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes the plans change, so we just gonna go ahead and get started now. I didn't feel like pre-gaming, playing no extra song. I felt like just go ahead and getting into the content. It's late over here, you know, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope everybody is doing lovely out there. If y'all can hear me in the building, go ahead, let me know if my mic sounds good. Give me a 1 in the chat if you don't mind. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? We got Almond Eyes in the building. What's going on, love? Hope you're having a good evening. Welcome to everybody else, whether you're on the horizontal or vertical side. Go ahead, hit that like button, share with someone that you know, subscribe for yourself, put on that bell. We're going to get into it. All right. Just want to make sure that my sound is good. I'll probably turn it down just a little bit more. Hey, okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Again, I know I normally play my pregame song, try to pick something a little different that will fit the mood, but I didn't, like I said, I didn't feel like dragging it out. I didn't feel like cutting it out later after the show got over. So yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and get started with the show. Now, I get it. Yeah, the title is provocative, right? And definitely the thumbnail. Now, it's just something that I was just wondering. I was just pondering. Sometimes, I just want to talk about certain concepts, certain aspects, certain talking points. You know what I mean? The Black woman is God? ? Now, why did I pick that? Right? Well, according to AI, there was somebody who asked on behalf of the sistren, on behalf of the sisterhood, okay, to see collectively what AI had to say about the obsession with Black women. And that's just how she chose to put it. All right, so don't blame me, but we're going to review it. We're going to go over it. Let's see who else we got in the building. We got Eugene Steele in the house. What's going on? Hope you're doing good. We got Truth in here. What's going on, man? What up? Hope you're doing well. You and the family. All right. So, yeah, again, I wanted to kind of I had a video. There's some things that, I get all different types of stuff that come across my algorithm. Sometimes it's situations or issues that deal with specifically men or women. There's crime situations. I love my conspiracy theories, my political interests and all that type of stuff. Like it all kind of filters in. So I was just kind of looking through my folders, you know what I'm saying? Because, I'd be foldering stuff. Pause. Foldering. But in it was a video that I just wanted to kind of look over with you guys, you know what I'm saying, to see what we think about it, what we think about it. I want to say maybe about a couple years ago, overall, I think it was a gentleman, a brother, you know what I'm saying, who asked AI, I think, what was so threatening, or basically what was a special thing about African Americans. And it was insightful. I wish I could find that original reference in terms of what AI said. But of course, it highlighted a lot of our good qualities, you know, which you don't really hear too much, you know, or too often, as we would need to, or what we would like to, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying let's not pander to each other, that's let's not lie, but at the same time, let's try to be a little bit more encouraging, you know what I'm saying? Because you have to understand, when people are constantly surrounded by certain rhetoric, certain thought processes, certain phrases, slogans, etc., etc., you know, it starts to seep into their consciousness. You know what I'm saying? We can think about even certain extreme countries, like goodness, it's one of the Korean, is it North Korea? Ooh. You know, living underneath a dictatorship, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? We don't live that way. So you know, for us, it's gonna be, we gonna find our own way of doing stuff, you know what I'm saying, our own ways of thinking, and that's cool, fine and dandy. But let's not forget, you know what I'm saying, the yin to the yang. Let's not forget what makes everything kind of go around and come full circle, which is each other. Now, when it comes to black women and black men, I feel like there's a lot of misunderstandings in a certain sense, because as much as we would like to separate ourselves from our past and from our origins here, it has made a huge mark, a huge influence on how we still think about ourselves, think about each other, and how we move and operate. So, you know, I just wanted to kind of highlight some certain things, you know, and hopefully we can do a male's version of this as well. But I found, like I said, a video that a lady, basically, you know, she calls herself the people's, hold on just a second, I always do this because I've started to download the videos instead of taking them straight from YouTube. But this video, oh my goodness, I hate when I do this. Hold on just a second, y'all, give me 1 second. The People's Reporter. The People's Reporter, that is the name of her channel, right? Now, another thing that kind of sparked me or inspired me to you know, to kind of include this into this video was what I witnessed the other night, man. Now, I get it, you know, like online especially, we can be pretty vicious to each other, but I stand on this 1,000%. There is an obsession, is an over pursuing of criticism towards black women in these spaces, black women in general. And I don't know anybody within our space, our regular suspects, you know what I'm saying, like the normal characters that we're used to seeing, you know, rolling around in these YouTube streets or hitting panels and putting their perspectives out there. In the terms of women, I don't see black women bashing black men in the way that I observed the other night. Okay. And this is not the first time that I've heard stuff like this. So whenever I say we don't do y'all like that, we don't do y'all like that. But it made me start to wonder, why is so much put on us, so much importance, so much emphasis, so much expectations put on the black woman, right? Now, I swear, I've never met as many individuals, first of all, who are over 6 foot until I came to YouTube. Everybody 6 feet, everybody got money. But also, I've never met so many people who grew up in single parent households, right? Until I came to YouTube. And I'm not saying that I didn't know that it was a possibility. However, my overall surroundings and everyday life, and in my environment, that wasn't the reflection. My family wasn't the reflection of that. You know, I don't think that see him. Yeah, all of my aunts and uncles were married pretty much to their high school sweethearts or shortly after that. And they're still married to this day if their partners haven't passed on. So, it's just what I'm personally used to. But when I started coming online, there's certain things that I would hear, and the emphasis and the blame and the finger pointing and the accountability always goes to the Black woman, right? Now, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be anything that needs to be fixed. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm saying. However, I started to notice a very lopsided perspective when it comes to the critique. All right. That's all I'm saying. It was day in, day out. And it's just like, okay, how much can I be like bamboo in order to just level with someone to get them to understand what I'm saying? Because at a certain point in time, I'm going to start to compromise myself, because even I know the goddamn truth. I've lived as a Black woman all my life. Okay. And so are the women before me. So I'm not sure exactly what else I'm supposed to know and identify with besides with my own. So there's a certain degree where I can empathize and I can understand where a Black man is coming from, but damn, like the outcome of lack of leadership in the younger generations, of Black men, that's Black women's fault. If we stayed and we tried our best to raise you, that's our fault. If we decided to give you up for adoption, that's our fault. If unfortunately they decide to AB, that's our fault. Like our attitudes are our fault. The fact that we are trying to do better and are doing better for ourselves, that's our fault. Like everything is our fault. Children, especially if they are ever produced, you would think that there was nobody else that was included in that situation, right? But like I said, the more and more that I start to have conversations on these panels, I hear the response from grown men that, well, we just do what you let us do. Let's forget about us caring about our own bodies. Let's forget about being adults and knowing the ramifications of our actions. Let's forget about the possible life that we can bring into the world and the effect it would be on us when we decide to leave. Okay. Like, let's keep it real. That was one of the most sickening things I think I've heard in a long time. We do what you let us do. But ever since I can remember, men and patriarchy was like, that was the thing. When my mother graduated from high school, that's when women were first allowed to have bank accounts and credit cards and ways of taking care of themselves. So it's always been up to a man up until then. So it was surprising for me to hear that our leaders, the people that we're supposed to be following, they do what we let them do. So they're no longer in control. I went on to hear commentary about absentee parents and especially absentee fathers, right? Shouts out to Candy Cane. Thank you, love. Great show earlier today. We start to hear subjects about absentee parents, and the rhetoric is, if dad wasn't there, you can't blame the parent that wasn't there. To me, I feel like you always can, because there's a huge detriment. There's a huge hole that's missing in terms of the role of the father. It shouts out to everybody in the building. We got Nightish in this thing. What's going on? H&M, what's going on? Everybody make sure that y'all hit that like button on the way in. That is absolutely free. Okay, appreciate the candy raid. Okay, we gotta start making that a thing. Forget the candy rain, it's a candy raid over here. All right, let's help keep independent conversations alive, y'all like to contribute to the show or to the channel in any type of way, it's $ the LA Project. That's on Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. All right, so we are going to get back to this. Let me just make sure really fast that my music is not too loud. Okay, just turn down just a little bit. All right, so Mr. DJ Music, how are you doing, my brother? Great to see you. All right, so yeah, I'm just getting back to the whole essence of just what I've observed. I didn't know that, so much was riding upon the backs of Black women in terms of the community, in terms of the success or failure, but it seems like everything it comes back to us. And going back to the absentee father piece really fast, I just wanted to add really quick, and I've talked about this on different panels before. It's really disappointing sometimes how much I hear Black men diminish and downplay the actual role of the father in the household. Of course it matters if you're there, man. Of course you can blame that person who choose to leave you. They chose that woman. Again, is the woman in charge? Is she the only one who chooses wrong? Is she the only one who is privy to all the information before a life is born? Or are two grown, consenting adults engaging into an activity that they both know what the consequences could be? But sometimes that's how it goes, when you look at a certain entity or archetype in a certain way. That's why I had to ask the question, is the Black woman God? Hold on. Let me get it back up here, because what I'm saying, I be doing my little 1-2s, to try to just prove and drive my point, in there. Pause. Because I don't always have a lot of time to to do all the editing, snapping, and all that type of stuff. So yeah, that's why I asked if the Black woman is God, because again, the expectations and the importance and the blame, you know what I mean, it's solely attributed to us in so many ways. Yeah. Juju, what's going on? Hey, sweetie. We got Liberated Soul in here. What's going on, man? He said, watch out. I know it's coming. I know it's coming, right? But yeah, this kind of makes me think, I can remember being, because I grew up to be a Christian, right? And when things don't go your way, what I'm saying, especially when you've been a quote unquote good person, you've tried to do all the good things or the right things, and bad things still happen to you. You know what I'm saying? It makes you kind of, depending on where you are in life, you might lash out, you know what I'm saying, a bit. And let me give you an example. Hold on. We got the original YM in the building. Thank you, love. This is just, something to mull over, something to kind of talk about or entertain. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason why I ask it really is, like I said, is everything up to us in terms of the community, the outcome of the family, the determination of a relationship lasts or not, a marriage lasts or not? Is it all on a woman? See, when you pick an archetype or you pick a being, to kind of hold in a certain reverence, you know what I mean? Yes, it's heartbreaking when you feel like you don't get what you want or what you deserve from such or said archetype. And again, let me get into, I guess, a personal anecdote, right? Now, I've said this before on my channel, and again, welcome to everybody that's new, that's watching right now. Make sure that y'all hit that like button, y'all. Engage in the chat. Let me know how you feeling. But if you are new, yeah, this is something that I've shared on my channel before. I definitely had thoughts and reservations about my creator, I was raised a Christian, participated in church ever since I was 7 years old. I was a soloist in choir, youth usher, part of youth ministry. Um, my dad was in charge of the sound system and recording all the services, and my mom, she was in charge of the bookstore. And also, she was a photographer. So when everybody got baptized, she would take your picture and put it on the wall of fame. We were very involved. When I was young, I thought that if I just did what I was told, what I was taught, I was a good person, that things would go the way that they were supposed to go, right? But then when I was 16, we had just moved to a different state. I didn't know anybody. And my father was diagnosed terminally with cancer. And he passed away at home, just like everybody says, with their kids around the bedside. But that shit was traumatic. And I can laugh about it now because that was a while ago. But at the time, as a kid, I could not understand how God could let that happen to me. How I'm thinking I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, right? I'm going to church, you know what I'm saying? 5-6 days out the week, we're all very involved. And yet this still happens. It's like, because I was taught and I was raised to hold, where I was taught the source of everything came from God in a certain reverence, right? And I just remember how disappointed and angry I was being a kid, But I bring that up to say, again, when we see as much vitriol and hate sometimes for the Black woman, I'm just like, are we God? Like, what is the purpose, or where is the source of this type of hatred? I appreciate that, Candy. What's up, Black TV? Yo, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Hope you've been doing well, having a great summer, enjoying yourself, but staying out that heat, my brother. Everybody stay hydrated, please, and thank you. All right, so I wanted to bring something up really quick because, like I said, a lot of us, in terms of the ladies in this space, we're opinionated. If you ask us certain questions, we are going to answer honestly. I don't know any woman who gets up on a panel just to intentionally lie. You know what I'm saying? I get it. There's different channels and different types of, styles. We're not really on the debate side. We're more on the organic conversation side. We're more on the introspective side. And that's not no diss to nobody else, but we try to stay away from the talking points, you know what I'm saying? And just really more come from a personal standpoint. At least that's what I've noticed anyway. So I feel like most of us have been pretty genuine, and it makes me frustrated. I don't know about the rest of the ladies, but whenever we get asked a question and we answer, it's automatically cap. I get tired of that. Why'd you ask me a question if you're going to tell me I'm just lying anyway? What's up, Smitty? Yes, like on Smash. Appreciate you. Thank you. Said, yes, you are God, a deceiver, trying to block your prospering. Well, like I said, I like to more just ask questions and get the different perspectives going so we can actually, when we say things sometimes, I think that a lot of people don't really think about 100% what they're saying, because if you're saying one thing definitively, and like I said, I can go back to, like I said, absentee parents. You can always blame the person who was not there. You know what I mean? You might feel that you can't, but of course you can, because you can tell and see in your life what is missing based off of somebody else's upbringing. You know what I mean? Or if you have friends who have two parents, you know what I'm saying? You know the benefits. You see the difference in your household versus their household. So I don't know. This stuff be kind of crazy, but It's meant to keep us confused. But yeah, I don't think that there's a lot of the female content creators who really are in, just derogatory or inflammatory or hyperbolic about our stances or our feelings like some of the gentlemen are. And I can't lie. I mean, I get it. Sometimes it's like you get used to certain people, certain characters. They come up and they have the same type of rhetoric, they have the same type of attitude, and you kind of get used to it. But at the same time, when you look at the chat and you see the snickering, the laughing, the joking, somebody gets dropped and then somebody pays for that person to come back and be verbally abusive, it's just, I don't know, it makes me kind of that's when I start to stop laughing. You know what I mean? I stop having fun at that point in time. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, oh, there's people who actually agree with this shit. So let me pull this up, and I'm only going to play a short portion of it because again, yes, I mean, it's not a whole lot that you need to listen to in terms of just to understand the certain people's attitudes when it comes, and the criticisms when it comes to Black women. But I will play just a little bit. This was, let me see, this was a few nights ago, I think. 2 days ago. 2 days ago, we're going to take a good look at Witch Doctors Not for Humans platform. Just at an exchange. And I already know it's this, he's probably going to say my name and call me a million bitches in the world, but it doesn't matter. JP is just over the top. So I'm just going to bring up a clip that, he was just the attitude. I just want to bring up the attitude and the rhetoric, right? And I want to preface it by saying that this whole exchange pretty much was just provoked because I think there was a interaction with two other female content creators that just did not go the gentleman's way. All right, so just off of that alone, it caused all of this vitriol. But we are going to pull this up just so we can get an idea of, like I said, I didn't know that all of this was, riding on the backs of Black women. Like, oh my goodness, we really must be something a lot more special than what we're led to believe. Because, if the slightest thing that we do or decision that we make can make such a detrimental negative effect on the community, then power is definitely a part of our name. So let me go ahead and pull this up really quick, and I'm not going to play that much. This is a members only stream, so y'all gonna have to cop your own membership, you know what I'm saying, to see the rest. But we gonna go ahead and get started with the just with the commentary. Okay, thought this was gonna be full screen. Thank you. Okay, computer is lagging. Give me 1 second, y'all. There we go.
I think they was trying to send you to because I saw you up here, you was defending her, and she acknowledged that you was defending her. That ain't still like that made you feel some type of way that you was.
I wish I wouldn't ever done it. I don't defend bed wenches or people that commit treasons. I have no.
All right, so he had a disagreement with two female content creators who happen to be Black women, and immediately they're bed wenches because it didn't go the way that he wanted to.
But for them,
I don't know if they bed wenches. I don't know if they slept with it.
Nah, they not. And I'm because
they is,
but the new came over here, right, DJ? I'm gonna keep it a G. When I was up there on their panel one time when he came up, and he seemed alright. He didn't say anything racial when I was up there. When I was up there, he didn't say.
It's not about racial. It's not about racial.
I didn't know him from a hole in the wall, and he talking about slug brain and involving himself in shit that he didn't know. So.
And I gotta be real, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of harsh things that are said on any given panel at any given time. I mean, we can't. That's the one thing that gets tough. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a difference when there's a a repeated offender, versus someone who occasionally, like, when they're cool, but then they got the ability to slip out some slick shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like nothing that you can do about it but hope that nobody else heard, right? So as a channel holder, it's like I get it. It's a little tricky, right? But in terms of this whole, like I said, where all of this vitriol came from, like, is it simply because there was a personality that you didn't really know how to handle or deal with? And I've noticed this, because whenever there's a non-melanated woman that comes on one of these panels and has the nerve to tell Black women how they need to be treating their men and how they need to be acting and with their femininity and all that stuff, the Black men, they gobble this shit up. But whenever, and even shouts out to my homie Flow State, you know what I'm saying? He's another vanilla brother from Wahala. You feel me? Like, he's from the other side of YouTube, but he can hang with these people. But at the same time, that's the imbalance that we're talking about. If we're talking about a Luna, or one of these other, like I said, Middle Eastern or non-Black women that come onto these Black panels and give their advice about how Black women should be conducting themselves, then I don't see what the problem is with having white men, you know what I'm saying, come on the panel. Now, I'm not sure exactly what happened in this exchange, but come on, y'all. We see the person or the individual that is in question, okay? It doesn't take much to offend him. I've offended him and got told that I should be basically deleted off the earth because I have biracial children. Like, it does not matter, and it doesn't take much with this individual, okay? So it bothers me sometimes, like I said, the sensitivity and the hyperbolic statements and violent statements that are made towards Black women. Yeah, Jude, this was disgusting to me. It was disgusting to me. And it went on for longer than I thought it would. But again, we're just going to use this as a case study, because I don't want to hear anything else about Black women talking bad about Black men, when this is the type of stuff is, that lives in a lot of other people's minds. There's a lot of these people out here. He's just bold enough to say it online.
It's the fact that, it's not about but okay, look. It's everything leading up to that. First off, like, every time we do a review over there, they always gotta put up white men to come and teach us, educate us.
Hold on, I don't even.
So that's one. Everything they take everything what white people say.
Talking about.
Because again, it's not the show cannot be about one panelist or things like that. Like, you got to think about the channel holder. Me personally, I like a mixed panel. I wish that more women would consistently hit the panel. I'd rather have more women on my panel than I would men. Sorry guys, I love you, kisses, bezos, all that stuff. However, I like to have more of balance, you know what I'm saying, in terms of personalities and also perspectives. So for me, as long as you're not disrespectful, I wouldn't care about your racial background, ethnicity, anything like that. I have no problems with accents. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've heard so many different, just preferences in terms of who folks would like to talk with, but yet you volunteered to hit the link on a panel that wasn't full of your people. Like, you cannot expect the red carpet to be rolled out and everything go your way, right? Because you never know what that channel holder, what their goal is in terms of for their channel. They might not want to stick to the same people that frequent all these channels. They might want to, venture out and find more people on TikTok or through Facebook or whatever and bring them over to YouTube. And then you got YouTube people, acting like they got a problem with them being there when this ain't your motherfucking channel. If you want things to go the way that you want to on a show that you're participating in, I suggest that you facilitate or host a show to make it happen. Like, it's kind of ridiculous, to expect that people that people acquiesce or bend to what you want to talk about or your style of conversation when the channel holder obviously made it open and available to a plethora of people. You know what I mean? So either you can hang with the conversation or you can't. But if you can't hang with the conversation or it doesn't go the way that you want to for whatever reason, because trust me, I've been there too. I've been like, damn, I didn't even mean hostility or disrespect or anything. But sometimes that's just how people take it and the whole conversation goes left. It is what it is. You're going to sink or swim. But to sit back, you know, and formulate in your mind that, oh yeah, now I need to just denigrate and insult a whole entire group of people. Again, what was you expecting? To be protected? To be exalted, even if you say stupid shit? Like that's not how life works, my guy. Like, and that's just to anybody that's listening, you know what I'm saying? Because there's been a lot of sensitivity in terms of panels and stuff like that. And I'm not like, I don't know. I mean, I even be kind of sensitive sometimes. I'll be like, shit, fuck this. Like, if I don't feel welcome or if I feel like it's constant, like, scrutiny and everything that I say is put underneath a microscope, but everything that, you know, this person says is is all good and laughing. Okay, well, I see that I'm not appreciated. I will take my talents elsewhere. You know, that's just how I feel about it. It's not to see a whole group of people, you know what I'm saying, whether it be man or women, because it's been crazy. I've been getting little dashes and smoke and stuff from both genders these days, but it is what it is. You know, those are those individuals. To lump everybody up, like I said, to put such a high expectation on one group or archetype of person, it's really telling who and what you think that we really are. You know what I'm saying? Because it would not be this serious. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to play too much about this. The rest of it is going to have to be looked at on members only. Then we'll get into the actual video of what AI said about the obsession with Black women. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
They usually, actually, the white person, the white man.
Biracial kids always have their daddies in their lives. And they don't mistreat the white man's kids. They don't call the white man kids ugly. They don't beat them because they look like their daddy. If anything, they always celebrate them. They always call them pretty. They always treat them like all the light-skinned kids having the name Freshest Clothes.
That's not true.
Oh, my dead mama grave, that's true.
That's definitely not true. Like, I don't know where he like, I don't know where a lot of this information comes from. If you haven't traveled, you know what I'm saying, or you don't have access to people who live in different parts of the country, you know what I'm saying, like not even your relatives that fly in from different ends of the United States for a family reunion, like you don't know any, you know what I'm saying, like you don't got no experience besides exactly what you're surrounded by, your environment, your block. People need to really get out and travel, like straight up, especially Black people. Okay, if you don't like to read, which I know a lot of niggas don't like to read, you know what I'm saying? Then go ahead, make that money and get your ass on a plane. Go visit somebody, you know what I'm saying? Let them show you around and just pay attention to how people move, because it's all gonna be different, man. But the obsession and calling it treason is crazy, especially if you gonna threaten and dangle a bullshit carrot in front of Black women's faces, talking about, well, if you don't nibble this, if you don't take this little crumb I give you, then sure, I'll give it to Maria, I'll give it to Becky, she's better. Okay, bye-bye. But if a Black woman, you know, for whatever reason, because let's keep it real. I know that the trick in the gag is that, you know, it must be low self-esteem, or, you know, you love your oppressors or whatever. I mean, how about actually falling in love? Does that only happen to Black men, where they fall in love with other races of women? It's impossible for Black women to fall in love with other races of men, and for other races of men to fall in love with Black women. Like, what are we really saying? Again, I don't think a lot of people think about what they say. They're just too busy trying to make a point. They're too busy trying to offend the other party and to, boost up whatever category that they fit into. It is weak. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's weak, and it doesn't matter if it comes from a man's side or from a woman's side. It's weak. You know what I'm saying? It's not that. This is not the 1950s where, actual trajectory of your life might depend on something as stupid as your skin tone. This is 2026. Don't nobody give a damn about that shit no more. We got people from all different parts of the world coming over here to live. And a lot of them are darker than us. So we're not worried about the fetishizing, like actually like wanting to have a child with light eyes and a certain aesthetic or whatever. Like, that's not what people are trying to do. That's not, because we don't have to do that. I think we've loved each other not each other. We've loved ourselves in terms of who we are, our features, our haves and our have-nots individually enough to be comfortable with reproducing what we look like. But also, we have access, you know what I'm saying, to not only the world with passports, but we got, social media just like everybody else. You can meet anybody that you want to. And I'm tired of the statement that Black women are not desired. It's just not true. It's just not true. But again, if that happens to be a situation, how is that treason? You know what I mean? I just don't understand like I said, the attitude behind, a person who, I don't know. There must have been, there was a white guy that was on the panel and he was given a chance to talk. Again, if there's somebody who's different and new on a panel, we want everybody to talk. We don't want the same personalities taking it over and making it their own show, having main character syndrome. But him being a chance to speak does not speak for the fact or implicate or imply that there's some type of worship to white men. Like, that shit is crazy to me. So I don't know. We're going to play a little bit more just to, like I said, understand and just get an idea how much this man was Hoyt, because I'm telling you, him was Hoyt. Like, he wasn't hurt. This nigga was Hoyt. He went back to his childhood real quick. Was like, oh my God. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't believe it. She don't love me no more. Like, she's everything worse. Everything besides a child of God, a bed wench. You know what I'm saying? The worst thing, she gonna hurt you more than I don't know. It's just insane. Let me go ahead and not put words in his mouth.
You got a whole complex of mixed people called kids.
No, I got a whole complex of what Black women have shown me. And it's still like that even till this day.
So
everything of an enemy Black women have done it to Black men and his children. She don't
everything. So again, it's just, and this is another thing that bothers me. It's like the only thing that should be competition to a man is other men. Stop being pussy, okay? Stop being afraid of competing with other races of men. And if you think and want to go say that Black women have been have basically done everything bad, what can we provide for you? What can we provide for you behind enemy lines? Okay? Like, this shit is getting old and tired, okay? It's old and tired. We was right there with y'all, dealing with a lot of shit. Being vulnerable to way more than y'all, okay? Because we had our sexuality. Most white men did not want y'all's booty, okay? But they was damn sure, checking for us. And it wasn't because, oh my goodness, like, women are just so hypersexual. No, we was fine as hell, okay? And they was in a position to take it. And they obviously knew that y'all wasn't going to do shit about it. But you see how it gets flipped. So again, we must There must be something extraordinary about us for the expectations to be so high, for the criticism to be so high. But yet when it comes to self-reflection, when it comes to even correcting or even saying what other men need to be doing, oh well, shoot, she let me do it. She let y'all got to do better, man. There's two. If that's gonna be put all on us, then please, like I said before, give us the keys. Sit in the passengers or in the back seat. I'll get us exactly where we need to go. But you got to put your ego in the trunk, okay? Because there ain't no room for that.
Do that shit to the white man kids.
Even if that's true, still though, you should still treat each individual woman. Don't lump other people fucked up shit on you.
And that's how black men keep getting cooked. Because you don't stand on. We don't stand on nothing. That's why we always gonna get cooked.
I ain't saying don't have your radar on, your guard up, your antennas up.
Man, they already done proved to you for 100 years. It's the reason why every time you gotta give black women NDAs. It's the reason why you gotta come up with cameras.
First of all, the average ninja does not need no NDA. Don't get your life in a celebrity's life confused and mixed up. Don't get your life in a white man's life confused and mixed up. Okay, we supposed to say that once upon a time we was kings, and I'm pretty sure black men and black queens and kings was not treating each other in the same brutal, barbaric way that the Europeans were. That's the story, right? Mostly upon African historians, right? But when we got to westernized, the women aren't the only ones, obviously, who got westernized, right? Because our men sometimes be acting just like those WS's that we complain about. Because I thought that our problems were different. When y'all bring up feminism and all that stuff, you say we got tricked in this, that, and the third. Actually, we needed a little something done. We would rather have something accomplished than nothing at all. All right? But on the opposite side, and this is not to beat y'all up, it's just to combat what is happening in this review that we're listening to. All right. Conversely, again, if all of these things, if women, black women especially, even though we were persecuted right along with you, right alongside with you, we're just as vulnerable as you, sometimes had to raise our families by ourselves because they took y'all out, like all kinds of stuff. We had to deal with all that shit. But we somehow are like the biggest enemy and did the most damage than the other races of men who you are big enough and strong enough to compete against. Brother, you're gonna have to come a little better than that. You know what I'm saying? Like you really are. This is not even adding up. But it's been repeated for so long, and especially for people who are too lazy to have the discipline to fix themselves and to do the right things. This is what they're gonna ride with, and they're gonna spread it like roaches.
It's a reason why you can't tell a bitch how much money you making in a marriage.
What?
I don't have these kind of. I get what.
When historically the paycheck was given to grandmama because she knew exactly what she needed to shop for and what the bills was when they needed to get paid, who needed to get paid. Like, come on, bro. Like, this shit is stupid. Y'all, some dudes just want pussy and family and legacy for absolutely nothing. We can see that with Exhibit A.
I'm gonna say it again. What you saying is not false, but to throw that on the whole gender and a whole race and gender is insane.
How that's insane when you got history of it. You got decades of them doing this to you.
You got daughters that's gonna be black women.
Yeah, and they're gonna be doing that to black men too.
Goddamn. All right, y'all.
You got decades. You got decades.
Yeah, and see that type of rhetoric and those types of sentiments, they honestly come from low self-esteem, like straight up and down. I thank the Lord for Norman and Michelle every motherfucking day, okay? Because they didn't, regardless of what their skin tone was, you know what I'm saying? They taught me to be proud of mine and anybody who was connected to it or looked like it or resembled it, okay? I would never in my life crack my lips to down My man, whew, okay, let me calm down for a second. Let me articulate myself correctly. I would never dare to adopt the feeling, and I've been wronged by black men and my bad, y'all. Damn, the whole thing just shut down on me. My videos got kicked out the studio and everything. Anyway, I would never, because I was taught to love myself, I would never, I don't know, StreamYard was tripping, Eugene. It was tripping. It got rid of my videos and everything, but I can pull that up. No problem. But you know what? It's not even, there's so many others. You know how many people say they know folks like him? He's not the only one. He's not special, unfortunately. And that's one of the, I'm just like I said, he's only one foolish enough to actually put this shit out there. Like, but thank you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Because with my suburban, raised head ass, like, yeah, I don't, I mean, trust me, I would definitely within one conversation would have put 2 and 3 together. Because living in Atlanta, like, I did stumble across one of those Hollywood Cove niggas, and never again. I knew better than to answer that phone call. You know what I'm saying? This was early in the day. Back in the day, wasn't really savvy with the whole let me get your number, you know what I'm saying, what your number is. Hollywood Cove. If you Atlanta, you know. But I'm glad these people actually put this shit out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about it at all. But I know he's not special. While a lot of people can kiki and caca when they listen to this stuff, because they be like, yeah, I know somebody like that. Straight up. But back to my point, me being proud of who I am and being raised that way, I would never speak negatively collectively about people who I come from, who I fit with. Because regardless of what people think I look like online, ever since I was young and interacting with adults and other people, I knew I was black. All right. Not saying that I just encountered racism and stuff like that, but I knew I was black. Shit. I definitely knew. So let me go ahead and pull this back up. My bad, y'all. We're just going to play a little bit more, and then we're going to get into AI, I swear. We're going to flip the narrative in about 3 minutes. Y'all just bear with me. Because I had to find something to counteract, like I said, because there has to be similar to even, when I think about slavery, when I think about Jim Crow, when I think about segregation, and when I think about all these things, you know what I honestly thought of with my so-called mulatto ass? I thought to myself, there must be something extremely powerful about us to make the whole world go to such lengths to hold us back and hold us down and stop us from achieving and stop us from having equality, because they knew if we was on that even playing field, we would take that ball and sprint and like blast off into the atmosphere. We would take the fuck off. That's always what I thought, because my self-esteem of myself and my people is that fucking high. And it just lets you know, when you hear stuff like this, when you hear, black folks who speak negatively about their own race or of opposite sex or whatever, it's a self-esteem problem. And they don't have to be a woman to speak negatively about women. He came from a woman. He was raised by women. He has and is raising young women. Think about that.
You got decades of black women who have committed treason. Like, bro, It's put like this: it's more black women that will fuck you over as a black man than not. And then the days that we living in,
and I'm sorry, just real quick, I could have swore it was the white women, and I'm shouts out to my white women out there if anybody's watching, listening, looking, but I could have swore it was them who made black men and black women quote unquote strange fruit. But I digress. Let's continue.
They're not more on no black man's program. There's no more Black Panther black women. These black women today is not considered to be on your program. They try their best to look everything else but you. You can't even tell these women is black no more. They don't wear the nappy hair that looks like you. They try to emulate and look just like a white.
I don't like the word nappy, first of all. So the fact that he says that you don't like your nappy, I mean, I don't think anybody likes nappy hair. You know what I'm saying? They like their hair. You know what I'm saying? And it you can detangle and do all that stuff, but if you got that 4C, it's gonna do what it's gonna do. It doesn't make it nappy. I can't stand that word. Okay, I can't. And to make it look like Europeans, again, we're forgetting about history. We're forgetting about, when our, especially like I said in the 70s when, it was, a lot more black women introduced into the workforce and stuff like that. I know my mom, she had a government job. She couldn't keep her afro that long. She had to put some that creamy crack in there, that perm, you know what I'm saying? Because black women's hair is so beautiful in its natural state that unfortunately in the corporate world, it's seen as distracting. Did you know that? Yeah. So further proof, black women, that you're not the least desired. Okay. Your hair even draws attention. It's not because it's quote unquote nappy. It's because it has volume. It's because it can be manipulated any way that you want it to if you set it into place the night before or at least a couple hours ahead of time. Okay. Like, yes, when it gets wet, it curls up like a Jerry, you know what I'm saying? Like a Jerry curl. And then when it dries up, it raises up to the sun like a halo. Our hair is magic. Okay. It's distracting. And back in the 70s and the 80s, if you wanted a quote unquote good job, a good profession, you had to kind of sacrifice that. It wasn't because we wanted to, but as time has always proven, as we worked right alongside with y'all, contributing into that joint bank account and paying half of the bills, you wanted to have a occupation that you could be proud of, but also your children could be proud of. You don't want to be a known babysitter or a known nanny or clean. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not what we wanted. We've been here for too long. We deserve better. We deserved more. It didn't mean that we wanted to be above our husbands. But hair was one of the things that we had to sacrifice, and we had to compromise on a little bit. But you see, we coming back to it. Shouts out to the Crown Act that's allowing all melanated people or textured hair people, whether it be men or women, to be able to rock your locks or your fro or your natural style the way that you see fit in the corporate world. Okay, shouts out to the Crown Act.
Hey man, kid.
On July the 10th at 5:20 some a.m. B Streaming tried to fight for y'all. I tried my best, but this nigga relentless. Help me out, Brownie.
They do be trying to look more like a white woman, a white man's kid.
It's so early.
As he picks his nose.
Early in the morning, and you want a gender tussle. You ain't right the crust out your eye.
No, it's not
looking like a crack. I'm sorry.
No, it's not no gender tussle. It's just about black men need to stop being super nice and stop letting these black women. The worst thing that black men is that happened to the black men when they told them that you had to love your black woman. You're not gonna see them for the enemy that they are. They your enemy.
So get with the black woman, lust after the black woman, make goals to procreate with the black woman, but what? Go to sleep with one eye open, my ninja? Good luck with that shit. My bad, y'all. Good luck with that shit. I mean, why would you like like I said, I know a lot of things could be true at the same time, but how could you I'm sorry. Say all that and just be like, but at the same time, hold on. Let me back it up because I swear to God, I be getting outside my body sometimes. Hold on.
Trying to look more like a white woman, a white man's kid.
It's so early in the morning, and you want a gender tussle. You ain't right the crust out your eye.
No, it's not no gender tussle. It's just about black men need to stop being super nice.
I'm sorry. I bet he rubbed them booger fingers on his pants. Lord have mercy.
And stop letting these black women. The worst thing that black men that happened to the black men when they told them that you had to love your black woman. You're not gonna see them for the enemy that they are.
Right. So okay. So thank you very much. Don't love your black woman and to see them for the enemy that they are. All right. Again, I'm gonna drop that right there. If you would like to see that was 2 days ago. On This Is Not for Humans platform. Lord have mercy. That was a members only stream. So if you haven't copped yours, go ahead and get at least a basic membership will get you access to that video, I believe. So go ahead and cop yours so you can see the whole version, because obviously there was plenty of people who, like I said, was entertained by the exchange. And when I tell you the shit went on for like hold on. Yeah, it's a good 45 minutes at least. Like it was rough. It was brutal. I've never heard a female content creator who frequents this space speak so negatively about black men. So I really don't think that the retaliation is proportional at all. Okay, I think it's a bit overkill. Yeah, I think that there's bitterness that's going on, and like I said, if you are looking at a certain archetype of person in a certain way that is just so above you and so angelic and perfect and you know what I mean, that it doesn't matter what they do, they could hurt your damn feelings, and then all of a sudden they're an enemy and committed treason and all this other stuff, then child, like I said, call us by our names. Call us by our names. If black women are God and we are like the determination of everything, we rule everything around you, let us know. Just make sure you stop calling us bitches and hoes, man, because that's, what I'm saying, there's still Mother Earth, okay? Damn near every hurricane, or most of the hurricanes, they're named after women too. I'm not even gonna get into the Orishas, but let me go and pull this video up of what AI had to say about the black woman. Now, I do want to say that this exchange is really it's like the content creator, she's reading her messages and then she's reading the response from AI. Okay, so this is not, it sounds like a monologue that she's giving, but she's not. She's actually giving the response straight from AI after she asked the questions. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this up so we can hear what
up front,
you had to say.
because the change.
Yeah. See, this stuff no chill. Okay. I asked AI, what's with the obsession with black women? Because even when they do, we do encounter our brothers who do have this type of hateful stance about us. Of course, we still got the passport bros. We still have people who just, they like white women too. You know what I mean? But when we look at the other races of women, let's keep it real. And this has happened for a long time. The black women has been the most imitated person on the planet, period. Especially when it comes to other races of women, whether it be their lips, their version of perms is to put permanent curls in their hair instead of, and knock out the straightness, which is crazy because they tell us to knock out our curls and put in their straightness. you know, it's just reverse poison. It's crazy. Now we got different surgeries. They starting to, you know, start doing certain exercises and getting surgeries and all kinds of stuff. Like, we are the most tanning. Let's not even forget about that. So we are some of the most imitated on the planet. But at the same time, when it comes to our own men, we're told that we're the least attractive. I don't know how I can deal with that. Like I said, I get it. You might be hurt by, you know, some of the archetypes and the individuals in your life that were women. We didn't always have, you know, people didn't always have the best mothers or the best examples. And I'm, like I said, I listen, you know what I'm saying? In those situations, that's when I shut the fuck up and I listen. I don't tell people that they're lying. So it's like, when women do the same thing and they put their stories out there, when they tell their truths and they're told that they're capping, I think that's very disrespectful. Because if you don't get that type of response, especially from the individuals that you're comfortable with and you have certain conversations with on these panels, then you don't need to be talking to them at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you just think that everything that they say is going to be a fucking lie, you know. But I understand it's not all women that's wrapped too tight. You know what I'm saying? There's not all mothers who are good, but come on, man. In general, that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about your block. We're not talking about your line of women or which you came from. We're not talking about the girls that you went to school with. We're not talking about none of that shit. We're talking, you know what I'm saying, in general. And a lot of us don't know people in general. Hopefully we can still just learn. But putting so much emphasis on one group is and probably, like I said, in hopes to take responsibility off of yourself is just, I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about that. We got narratives and dialogues in the building. What's up with you, brother? Hope that you're doing good. You got the trench coat on and the fedora, like sneaking and geeking. What's going on? I'm just playing. All right, let's get into this video. Again, this is a content creator, Larissa, the People's Reporter. The People's Reporter, that is the name of her channel. And she's asking AI, what is the obsession with Black women? And she's going to read her questions and then read the answers that AI provided for her. Let's go.
Let me tell you something right up front, because it changes how you hear everything else forthcoming, right? What you're feeling, the loud, the ghetto, the ugly, the I'm so tired of seeing them, the they're not even that smart. None of that is new. And treating it like it's new is actually part of how it survives. This is one of the oldest pieces of machinery this country has ever built. It's manufactured on purpose for a reason. And it's
so when she's speaking like this, she's speaking from AI's perspective, not her own, okay?
Been running so long that most of the people repeating it today have no idea they're reading off a cue card that's older than this divided States of America itself. So when people ask me, why now? Why are they coming out so hard right now? Right? Part of my answer is, it's not really now. It's always. What's changed is the volume. What's changed is the visibility. See, we'll get to that. But first, you need to understand the engine. Because once you see the engine, you ain't going to see this.
The People's Reporter.
Well, hello, everybody. My name is Larissa, and I'm indeed the People's Reporter. Okay? Because I got to come report to my people. You understand. And some of y'all, the rest of y'all want to get on the train and, you know, welcome. So all the new subscribers, welcome, welcome. Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. Yeah. For the subscribers that's already here. Listen, I so appreciate y'all.
I don't know. Do you guys think that she's too light? I'm sorry, I'm being an asshole. Y'all think she too light-skinned to be talking about Wakanda forever? Because you know how colorist some of our people are. They be like, oh, she ain't even black for real.
Because it just lets me know that what I'm bringing forth is really welcomed. And for that, I'm going to keep on keeping on. So that without any further ado, let's get into it. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. Yes, I did ask AI this because, listen, we've been saying things for a very long time, and or we may have been enduring things for a very long time but can never put a name on it. And I am a strong believer that knowledge is power. Because, see, once we have that knowledge on how things came to be, right, which is the true nature of this nation, right? Yeah. Then things start to shift. Things starts to change. So that's why
that's a big thing, and that's one thing that I kind of like to think outside of the box with. It's easy to think about, and just focus on what's going on right here, but we got to think about how we got here, right? So I get it. It takes some work. Oh my God, you're not gonna sweat. It's gonna take work, but you ain't gonna sweat, baby. It's just gonna take some mental power. But if you are really interested, people, they put in energy and spend time on the things that they want to in life. So if you are ignorant about certain, and when I say ignorant, just unbeknownst, like you just are unaware of certain things. I don't mean stupid, right? But if you're ignorant at this point in time in your life, you're kind of choosing to be, especially if you're going to keep complaining about certain dynamics that, you might not be able to control 100%, but you can do a little bit more work to understand how we got here. Because like I said, and I always believe that understanding brings tolerance. And that's one thing that we don't really have for each other. And it's like that stuff is crazy, because if nobody else knows what we've been through, it should be each other. But we give each other the hardest time of them all. But she said she looked like a young Mavis Staples. I know a place. Hey. Ain't nobody crying. Damn, I'll take you there, head ass. Oh my God.
Do what I do. Now listen, this one right here is going to be a little rough, all right? And it's going to be long. It's going to be a little rough. It's going to be long. So listen, if you need to pause it and come on back, then do that. All right, let's go on and get into it. Now here's the foundation. And I need you to really hear this part. All right? You ready? All right. White womanhood. Yes. The whole idea of it was built as a contrast. It was built as your opposite, my opposite. So go all the way back. The picture of the ideal woman in America, right? Delicate, pure, soft-spoken, virtuous, beautiful by default, needing protection. That was a white invention. And here's the thing about the invention, right? It could not exist by itself. You cannot have a pure woman without an impure one to point at. You cannot have delicate.
You got to have the yin with the yang, right? So in order for whatever tactic to work, you know what I'm saying, whether it be the economic game, the racial game, whatever, you got to put somebody on top. You got to have a contrast to whatever is good, right? So, what goes up must come down, as above as so below. I think that's how it goes. So yeah, it was engineered. And as it was already said, it had nothing to do with white men. The actual face and like focus of America was white women. So again, I don't understand. Like I said, if you disappointed by the sisters in your life, by the black women's in your life, then okay, fine. But just understand, okay, that the archetype of Western culture has always been the white woman. And I'm just saying it because that's just what it is. Okay, so the desire to, when you talk about the black women who I guess choose to date outside their race, first of all, there's more races than white. Okay, you know what I mean? And again, trying to sell the idea that black women are the least desired is just not true. Okay, it's just not true. Men in general just want to fuck. Okay, so it doesn't matter what race they are. If they're not trying to get married, they're not going to marry anybody. It doesn't matter if you were the best thing that they've ever come across. If they don't want to get married, they're not getting married. It has nothing to do with a specific type of woman. Men, you know what I'm saying? Well, unless you're just that type, you know what I'm saying? A woman to get down on your knee and propose or whatever, but still, he still got to say yes. And even if he still says yes, he still might, run his life the way he wants to, and not in the traditional way that you're expecting him to. So, it is what it is. But don't fall for the trap. You know what I'm saying? Because that wasn't, when it comes to the epitome of beauty, they just said what all the marketing, advertisement, all that stuff went towards. It was to protect and to perpetuate the soft and fragile image of the white woman.
Without having somebody labeled as brutish. You cannot make beautiful the racial default without assigning somebody else to be the ugly. So they assigned us. Yeah. White femininity didn't just happen to sit next to the tearing down of Black women. No, it was built out of it. We were the negative space. We were the outline they traced their own worth around. Yeah, their up required our down. You understand? So now follow me, because this is why it never feels like it stops, okay? When a woman participates in tearing Black women down, whether she knows it or not, she is maintaining the foundation, her own status.
I'm sorry, I had to pause that for a second, because again, that's always been something that's puzzled me, and I've never I will never understand it, and I ain't trying to. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's and who is it? I can't remember who that other young lady was the other night that I had reviewed, and she was just talking about, see, this is what's wrong with the sisterhood. You're the dumbest. You don't take care of your kids. And she's a Black woman saying all this stuff. It's just like, sis, nobody believes you. Like right now, like nobody believes you. You's a Black woman and you saying all this stuff against your own or against people who look exactly like you. Again, do you have high self-esteem? Do you come from good stock? Do you come from a line of women who have done admirable or respectable things? Obviously not, because I just will never understand. It's the same thing how I feel about Black men. I've had great examples around me, so I will never, like I said, I know some men in general ain't shit, okay? But that's because they're not trying to be, and maybe they haven't been given the quote unquote incentive to be good, right? They haven't seen the goal or the benefit in themselves, right? Because especially for the people, like I got my stream out there, Black unicorns, for my Black unicorns out there, you know what I'm saying? My rare people, my one in a millions, you know what I'm saying? The ones who stand out in the crowd and can't really understand the degeneracy. My bad. Wow. Talking too fast. They can't understand that shit. You know what I'm saying? For all of y'all out there, it still wouldn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? For me to to look at Black men or Black women as trash when I know too many good ones. But again, if you don't know good ones, you could talk like this. Yeah, she definitely could be that the type of person, could be a panda bear. For sure. To get attention, the whole go along to get along gang. I know women like that. It's just like, why you want to be the only woman at the boys' table? Like, you just still one of the boys. You're not being handled like a woman. You know what I'm saying? They don't see you like that. They see you as a pushover. You know what I'm saying? And the rest of us see you as just weird. Who we got in here? Legend 55. He says, hello. Can you talk about Black women in the beauty industry? I'm not sure in which capacity that you mean, but I mean, I do have a show that I did about plastic surgery. Give me a second. If you look on my live tab, you can see 3 weeks ago, I talked about the cost of beauty. I did talk about Black women, mostly with cosmetic surgery and stuff like that. Those like I said, if you have any specific angle that you would like to see or hear about or whatever, you can let me know. But that's a pretty vast and broad topic right there. Yeah, BBLs, some of them are killing folks for sure. I mean, shoot, these you know, people getting, these young folks getting the veneers they got. It smells like they got BBLs in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff, all this unnatural stuff. Like, again, it goes back to your foundation in terms of self-esteem. It goes back to self-esteem because, you know, you got to understand that, you know, a certain type of body, a certain type of look, aesthetic, it comes with experience, sometimes age, whatever, right? I'm pretty sure some of y'all guys can look at yourselves back in the early 2000s with those long nightshirt style white tees, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? With the jabot baggy ass shorts with all the pockets and stuff all over them. Like, boy, stop. And you would have been embarrassed just like the rest of us, you know, depending on the time period and what the trends were. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all live and learn, and we figure out what works for us and what gets us the best responses, right? We got Miss Joy in the house. What's going on? Hey, sweetie. Yes, child. That shit was crazy. I didn't know it was that serious. I've never I don't know. Most of my friends, and even myself, I still got all my real teeth. I don't know about that life at all. But from how they described it, Coffee, since you know how they have to shave the teeth down to like cones, right? Like cones. What's going on, Gas Mask? I see you in here. How they have to shave their teeth down, right? And then they put this we had found it was a dental resin. Somebody said it was a dental resin that they fill the tooth with it's like a cap, and they put it over top of it. So it's like, but they don't necessarily brush and sanitize the teeth before they just put them caps on that shit. So yeah, like your teeth just kind of, sometimes they rot on the, you know, they keep on deteriorating on the inside of that cap. You know what I'm saying? So they said if you don't floss after every meal, if you don't do your Listerine and stuff, they say the best thing for it is to get a water pick, which I suggest you definitely do that at home because that can get a little messy. But yeah, they said they got to do all that stuff just to cut the smell down, bro. That's, I'm like 21-year-olds is getting this shit done. Like I said, once upon a time, it was cool to pass away with all your teeth. My grandma was 91 and she had all her damn teeth. You feel me? Like that was a badge of honor. Like you gonna have them bad boys just permanently in there where you can't take them out and soak them in a glass of Polident. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they how you know you getting them clean for real? Yeah, every meal. It makes sense, okay? Because everything that glitters isn't gold. Gas Mask. That's the facade, the whole facade about plastic surgery. That shit look good till you go and grab you a handful of ass, and that shit feel like a bowling ball. You gonna be like, oh shit, you should have kept your, you know what I'm saying? You should have kept your little flat back. You know what I'm saying? I could have plumped it up. You know, some back shots gets the ass rounder. Squats do too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, everything that glitters isn't gold. It should make sense to you. Sorry, I'm clouded tonight.
Is standing on. That's not a personality flaw in one person. That's structural, right? Now watch this. Every single insult they throw is not random. Each one was forged to do a specific job. Let me show you the
man. And you know the worst part of it? They say, I mean, as soon as they start talking, they can tell. They said it smelled like rotten flesh. I was like, God damn. A bridge? Okay. I'm not sure exactly what that. Okay. I think I know what that is. Okay. Is it permanent though? If it's permanent, I guess she would know that. She said, yeah. She said a water pick for sure. But even if you know what I'm saying, water picks are great in general. You got your own teeth. Or whatever. How come? Hold on. Somebody is in here and I can't see them. That means you blocked. How are you in here, King Picks? Because I can't see your comments at all. But I can see people talking to you. That's crazy. Can't keep running away.
Receipts. Okay, because that's how we work. Ugly. Back in slavery, white men were raping enslaved black women constantly, right? And the society needed a story to explain that away. So they built a lie that black women were hypersexual, always available, couldn't even be violated because.
And see, when I talk about this earlier, you know, when people talk about like, you know, and it seems like the whole 304 whore, you know, type of trope that's almost exclusive to black women, or it's definitely assigned to us quicker than other races of women, period. You know, but it goes back to this type of history, you know what I'm saying? Because what choice do we have? If y'all want to talk about being buck broken, you know what I mean? Like, I get it, a woman is designed a certain way, but that doesn't mean that we wanted that. There was plenty of people who rebelled and took motherfuckers out, okay, because of that. So it wasn't because of anything else. Like, so the whole bed wench and, you know, bed warmer type of comments and stuff, that shit is just like, it's ridiculous, because we would never, you know, I don't hear women in our space, and I'm talking about the characters that y'all know and love, including me. We do not be bringing this type of stuff up, but yet we are in chats or on panels and we're just subjected to this type of stuff, and it's ridiculous. There's lots of things that we could be throwing out that happened to y'all personally, but what would that solve? We knew what the circumstances were. You know what I'm saying? Either everybody gonna buck, or this nigga gonna get the. And it seemed like that's what people, they wanted to preserve their lives so much they didn't care what happened to the black woman at the time. Let's keep going.
Because we supposedly wanted it. That lie did two jobs at once. It excused the grape, and it used us to set up the sexual opposite as the pure white woman. Then after slavery, as European beauty standards got written into the rules, right, and shipped all over the world, the role flipped. Now it's undesirable. Straight hair, thin lips, light skin, narrow features get called beauty, right? Not because they actually are, but because the people in power said so. And everything black gets coded as the opposite. You see that? Okay. So when they...
Ooh, I'm sorry. Can we see them sisters real quick? Hold on. Let me look at the flowers in the hair. Look at the elaborate hats. Look at those figures. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Ugly where? Ugly who? Yeah, these motherfuckers, they really sold us a really messed up, but let me stop cussing. They sold us a really messed up version of ourselves, and for some reason, like I said, I don't know if it was to help us sleep at night or whatever, but we fell for that shit hook, line, and sinker. And it doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna put this back up here one more time. For the one time. Man, I just had to do that real quick. And I do that even when I see the pictures in the same time period of the black men. I'm talking about mustaches curled, shoes shine, motherfucking them damn suits was perfectly fit, like tailored. Like, boy, we were some magnificent people. I swear to God, we really are. We really are, bro. The fact that that's gotten so lost is sad. It is. What's Coffee saying? No disrespect to anyone with white parents, but the traits deep within them can be very insensitive to Black history due to them feeling guilty after having sex with us and children by us. I mean, hey. I can't tell anybody how to feel. Some people definitely bring things. That's why it's like, you know, when they talk about reparations, well, so I should get punished for something that my family did. you can be empathetic and see the imbalance and see the discrepancy. You can see the disparities, and you could advocate to make that right. I mean, if anything, it's the government who's going to be, you know what I'm saying, issuing out them damn, you know, them type of checks or whatever, because they were the ones who perpetuated it. You know what I'm saying? They definitely allowed it. They gave back land and other assets to people who did not deserve it. They made treaties with indigenous people that they did not uphold. They stole states of land, okay, committed genocide. They're the ones who really need to pay. So I mean, I get what you're saying. To me, it's always kind of funny. All they need to do is just be like, yeah, that was fun. You need to be as equally as upset about that shit as I am, and we'll be good. How about that? But acting like it didn't happen. Oh, well, I don't see what I owe. Am I asking your family directly? No, I'm asking for acknowledgement, and I'm asking for what was promised to mine. Okay. And it can, you know, I hope that you guys are actually privy to your family trees and lineages and things like that. I am. Okay. So I know where I come from. So if it needs to be proven, I definitely can produce that paperwork. But that's a part of it, though. You definitely a part of us, but there is such a thing as Drake syndrome today. Yeah, I get it. I mean, especially as the farther that we get away from the actual, you know, climate and time period of when all this stuff like mattered. Because trust me, I mean, this is even something that I kind of like, we found out maybe a few years ago. Said one of my uncles, he's a part of he's in charge of my family tree on my mom's side. And we found out that my grandmother's, that their mom's mom, so my great grandmother on my mom's side, her and her husband were the first African Americans to successfully sue a transportation company in Atlanta in the 1930s. There's a whole video that's made on it. I put it on my community tab. A lot of stuff gets lost, but let me just show y'all what it is really quick. So y'all, if you want to, you can take a look at it. That's why, like, I knew that there was a reason why I can't keep my damn mouth shut. Because this type of stuff is just in my blood. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not going. We're not going at all. Oh, and I forgot to even show you this. See, people be sleeping. Especially when it comes to the history, man. Like, let me see here. This was crazy. My mom likes to thrift shop, you know what I'm saying? She like to go to the thrift stores from time to time. Let me see. And look what she actually found, yo. Hold on. Look what she found, yo. This is an actual bottle of Madam C.J. Walker's pressing cream. And there's still product in this shit. I thought that was amazing. From the first African-American female millionaire, Madam C.J. Walker. Hello, hello. Let me see if I can find this. There it is right here. This is a post that I put up there. It was a story. This story is about my great grandmother. So this is her and her husband. And this was the story about, you know, like I said, technically Martin Luther King was 3 years old when this happened. So this type of stuff is a part of my lineage. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me, like I said, to know what I know and speak ugly or negatively about anybody. You know what I'm saying? That looks like me or fits in that category. I can't do it. And I will never understand how others do it. But whatever. Everything isn't meant for me to understand. But yeah, they were prominent in Atlanta. not too far from Auburn Avenue. Folks was doing what they normally do to you know what I'm saying, the black people when they was on trolleys and trains and stuff like that. But my grandparents, you know what I'm saying, they wasn't going. They wasn't going. And they sued their ass and won. Okay? In the 1930s. So I hope that y'all know where y'all, you know, where you're from, so you can have some pride in where you going. All right. Let's put these beautiful people back on the stage. All right. We're going to get back into the review. Give me 1 second, okay? Let me just check out what y'all seeing or what y'all saying in the chat. Hold on. Wait a minute. We know the colorism of okay. So with a person who is fully black, and I mean looking like a slave black and dark versus the lighter skins, they can be against each other due to what hurt they have been by each other. Yes, I mean, because a lot of this stuff was put into place. Like, I mean, it was more of a tribal thing, you know what I'm saying, Kwafi, before the conquistadors and all them people came over here. Like, shoot, it was, if there was problems and all this, I don't think it had things to do with complexion and all that stuff until other people came over here, conquered, put this, you know, the whole institution of slavery into place. Because just doing subtle psychological things, you know, that bullshit, it imprisons people's minds, and you don't even have to keep shackles on them no more. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be telling on each other and all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be doing your job for you. That's why that was put into place. The young against the old, the men against the women, the light skin against the dark skin, but not admitting to the fact that the indiscretions of the slave master and the damn overseers was what's making the light skins. Okay. But that was put into place in order to, like I said, keep us in the check without them having to do so much work. We was telling on ourselves. It's just bullshit at the end of the day. And really, all of us need to get over it at this point in time. I mean, unless that's just your preference, and yeah, like, do your research to find the correct quote unquote pedigree that you're looking for. But to be completely honest, I mean, shoot, there's so many light-skinned folks who ended up being more pro-black and involved in change and injustice than the quote unquote slave-looking ones. We can do that too. No, I actually have noticed the opposite. For when it comes to the biracial, especially like I said, back in those types of times, a lot of them, they knew that they wasn't going to pass. They wasn't going to pass as being white. You know what I mean? And a lot of them overcompensated to prove their blackness. Let's look at Thurgood Marshall. Okay. Dubois, like, he was a little pecan, but he had that silky hair too. Like, shoot, a lot of them, there you go, a lot of them be doing a whole lot of stuff to overcompensate because they knew that they were definitely Negroes, but they wasn't light enough to be white. You know what I'm saying? So they was just like, you know, no, I'm down. Like, let me put my, you know, live my life and dedicate it to the cause, man. That's actually what a lot of biracial and light-skinned people did. They weren't all trying to escape and desert or receiving any type of direct privilege. And even when I look at my own family and people who were born that way, off of consequences of their own, they always married somebody who was way darker than them because they wanted to introduce back the melanin. Yeah.
Call us ugly. That's not an opinion about a face. That's enforcement. Okay, that's keeping the hierarchy standing. And here's the tell, the thing that gives the whole game away. The same features they call ugly on us, the full lips, the curves, the braids, the melanin, they fake with a tan. They call gorgeous on a white woman who bought them, right? Ugly when it grows on us. Trendy when it's purchased by them. Remember that line, all right? Because we're going to come back to it. Now, loud, Ghetto, angry. This is Sapphire, the loud, neck rolling, hand on the hip, angry black woman character. And that character has a function, okay? Here's how it works. Watch closely, because this one is done to us every single day. All right. When a black woman is rightfully angry, right, about being disrespected, talked over, underpaid, mistreated, the trope lets everybody in the room ignore what she's saying and focus on how she's saying it. She's so aggressive. Why is she so loud? So ghetto. Now the anger is the problem, right? Instead of the thing she's angry about. You see what just happened?
Yeah, and has there? I mean, again, that's assuming that just women in America were treated in the same regards, when we just heard in the beginning that the standard of beauty was white women, period. So you got to think about any type of treatment that the opposite would receive, and that's usually and similar, black men were definitely affected by that as well. I mean, a black witness to a crime at one point in time was basically, they could not testify. They wouldn't be believed, even if they witnessed it themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was so much invalidation, of course, about our intelligence level. This is across the board. But of course, I mean, could you imagine how much worse it would be because, oh, you black and you a woman? So a lot of people ignore that intersectionality, okay, where the lines of race and gender meet. All right. See, this is, regardless of what y'all still say, this is a patriarchal society. Most, black men, they have to worry about their race and their economic class. Now it's classism, right? But they never had to worry about the whole gender thing because they're still a man. I understand a lot of people did not see black men as men, right? But we did. That's the gag. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we're being treated like we never saw you like that at all to begin with. But people have to understand that there's a lot of responses. Like, this stuff just didn't come from the sky. It didn't come from the sky. It's almost like the way that the story or the narrative is being I'm sorry about that, coffee. But the way that the narrative is being spun right now is that black women just collectively just woke up one day and said, you know what, girl, we ain't taking this. We finna flip all these niggas, and just they gonna have to deal with it, and we gonna see the chips fall where they may. Like, no, a lot of this stuff were responses to the different changes, especially culturally and in the decades and stuff with our men. Being a strong black woman has always been a trope, right? But when we actually show our strength, then we become masculine and undesirable, even though we've been the most emulated. Period. We've been the most, like I said, is being said by modern men today that the black woman is the biggest enemy of black men, as if, like I said before, men are in the arena with other men. They should not even be looking at women as competition or threatening at all. It should be about those other men. Stop being scared and get your ass in the game. Better yourself. Sharpen your knives. Figure out what industries are popping or gonna be in high demand and pursue them shits. Stop worrying about being fly and looking a certain way. You know what I'm saying? With minimal effort put into place. So, you know what I'm saying? Or put into it, bro. Like, it's gonna take some work. So what? If you want it to change, we gotta stop putting everything on women, on the black woman, because if that's the case, again, give me the keys, darling, and sit in the passenger seat or get in the back and take a nap. But make sure your ego is put in the trunk. All right?
They made your reaction the crime, so they never have to answer for the offense. It's a silencing tool. That's all it is. A mute button. They press, so they never have to hear you. And Ghetto.
Hold on. The shouts out Big J X. Real quick, he says, I'm gonna just say one X and not the triple, okay? He said black men don't want to be men if you listen to these shines on. I'm trying to tell you, man, like I just be confused, because I could have swore, you know what I'm saying, that we supposed to follow the leader. You know what I'm saying? But every time I turn around is, oh well shit, she didn't tell me to protect myself and think about the future and put on a condom. I would think about this nut. Like what? You know what I'm saying? Like we don't even, we can have sex with women we don't even like. Okay. Sometimes, if she giving us the food, you know what I'm saying, she doing all the wifely stuff, you know what I'm saying, we just use her as a placeholder until we find what we really want. Like I listen to all of y'all and it is disappointing, bro. It's disappointing. I'm just saying, like, what do y'all want us to do with that? And again, if you want to know about the increase in terms of our interest in wanting to educate ourselves and be more self-sufficient, this is why. Because we would love to depend on y'all. But if you're not going to value us and you're not going to make important the black family and the black home, and you don't want to get married until you're 45, and then when you do, you want an unbeknownst 23-year-old who don't know shit, like you can't keep blaming black women or call us by our names, bow down, and give us the keys. That's all I'm gonna say. People don't think, like I said, they don't think about what they say. They just say shit because they think it sounds good and it benefits their little group or whatever, but it makes them sound like clowns. It makes them sound very irresponsible. It makes them sound very incapable of being in charge. That's all I'm saying. Somebody can prove me wrong.
That's just the class code racism in costume, right? When millions of black folks moved north in the Great Migration, white policy packed us into segregated, red-lined neighborhoods, right? They created the conditions. They did. Then they took the beautiful survival culture that came out of the conditions and turned it into a slur. They built the box, locked you in it, then made the box an insult and threw it at you. Now that's ghetto, okay?
Ooh.
They're not smart.
Hold on, let me pull this back just a little bit. I was going over comments and shit. Welcome to everybody that's in the building right now, man. Make sure that if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that like button, man. This is definitely this is all off the top of the dome. So if you all are actually enjoying the monologue, you're enjoying the commentary, you're seeing it for what it is, because I'm not trying to attack nobody, you know what I'm saying? Feel free and be encouraged to to actually support independent conversations. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep these types of things alive, because it's not always about the talking points and what keeps us safe and snuggly at night. Sometimes we need to get down to the root of the issue, or at least see it from a different perspective, so we can try to see some, some type of change, some type of impact, because it's like all of this stuff just blaming somebody else, it's taking all the power away from you. I'll tell you that.
Us into segregated, red-lined neighborhoods, right? They created the conditions. They did. Then they took the beautiful survival culture that came out of the conditions and turned it into a slur. They built the box, locked you in it, then made the box an insult and threw it at you. Now that's ghetto, okay? They're not smart. This one's justified keeping us out of everything, right? If black people are less intelligent, then it's fine to deny us school, fine to pay us nothing, fine to lock us out of every institution, fine to talk over us. And then there's the other weapon.
And I just want to point this out. Like, this was a universal thing at one point in time, where they saw black men and black women as less intelligent, as, basically, so they didn't need certain luxuries. They didn't need, well, not even luxuries, certain things that just prepared them, to be prepared them for the world that was constantly evolving and changing. You know what I'm saying? So it just kills me that, since everybody's got knowledge of, some pseudo knowledge of self or whatever, and now men are trying to gatekeep, you know what I'm saying, all the information and persecute their women. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I hope that Like I said, there are more Black men who are going to be paying attention to what fields are in demand, so they can actually pursue those instead of just going for, I'm an entrepreneur, like doing what though? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you have a specialty? Because if you still want a woman, if you can't carry the household by yourself and you still need your woman to contribute financially 50-50, she's going to need a job that translates, okay? And getting up and going to, be somebody else's maid, cook and clean, take care of their kids. That's not what Black women want to do. That's not what we can do. We can be doing more, but y'all cannot be so threatened and intimidated by our education. Pick somebody who can keep that shit in check, okay? Or keep that shit in perspective. Because I understand I'm not talking about every single person. There's going to be flaws, all right? There's going to be people who got something to prove. There's going to be broken people who don't know, who are going to abuse their power and things. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the level-headed ones who are actually for the cause, who are actually for the people, who are going to school and bettering themselves as individuals so they can bring back to the community. That's what I'm talking about. And I know a lot of times, like I said, it doesn't sound glamorous. You might not get the fucking baddie. So what? The baddie is going to drain you after you pay for her nails, her hair, her outfit, that, upkeep in the BBL. The boobs need tuning up, every 10 or 15 years? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Let's reprioritize. Get somebody who actually loves the hell out of you. Get somebody who appreciates what you bring to the table. Everything else can be fixed. But the mentality of the person is what's most important. Every woman everybody with a education is not on a pompous ego trip. They don't want to dominate. They're doing it to bring it back to the family. They're doing it so they won't have to, they can have a nice home work balance. All that stuff is important. They can have great benefits. So when you want to get her pregnant, then she can have a great, she can still get paid. She might not be her full paycheck, but they still gonna break her off, and they still gonna give her 6 to 8 weeks or whatever at home with the child or whatever. And then you switch off if you got a job that's got good benefits too. Like, people got to stop being on this other program and understand what we have to deal with right now. If we want it to work, both people gotta recognize what we dealing with, and they gotta be willing to work together. That's the bottom line. Hey. That's all I know, man. Like, shoot, my parents, like I said, my mom, she could have had the chance and the choice to have her own bank account and all that stuff, but my parents always had a joint bank account. I don't know, but they were together for 25 years, so that's a different type of love. A lot of people are not even willing to build these days. They want to, I'm not going to get married until, I have a certain job and I can afford a certain ring. And okay, well, shit. Meanwhile, you know what I'm saying? You wasting time with somebody, because 2 heads are always better than one. 2 incomes are always better than one. And you probably would have got to the goal quicker if you just would have said, fuck all the bullshit and went ahead and jumped the broom. But what do I know?
The vulnerability, the tears, the ones. For decades, protecting the virtue of white women was the official excuse for lynching, right? A white woman's work.
Yes, they called it strange fruit. Shouts out to Billie Holiday. Iconic song. Super sad. But Black women don't love our Black men, and we don't appreciate or know what y'all go. Man, Billie Holiday died a horrible death. Because she made that song and refused to stop singing it.
Or just a white woman's tears, could end a Black life. Emmett Till, 14 years old, murdered in 1955 over an accusation the woman herself later admitted.
Right, but for some reason the problem modern day is the Black women who choose to be with Black women to be with white men. Like, have y'all forgotten what it was like when y'all crossed the border? You know what I'm saying? And went into the forbidden garden and ate the forbidden fruit. Like, y'all don't remember what happened to y'all? I mean, it would be so bad that they would take souvenirs home. I'm pretty sure that people's fingers or even dick and balls is in a jar of formaldehyde right now, just because they was messing with a white woman. So it's just, I don't know. This stuff is just, woo. It just, like I said, people do not be thinking about what they think. If the black woman is such an enemy, I don't know what the rest of the world is. And again, I mean, hit dogs holler, but I did kind of like specify that this is a certain, only the certain type of people who believe that everything is a black woman's fault. So if you don't believe that, then you should be on our side. You should be like, yeah, fuck them niggas, like, shoot, because I thought that, what I'm saying, black men y'all don't like to, men in general, y'all don't like to be compared to anybody else. I ain't like that other. Okay, well, shoot. If I name something that's deplorable or degenerate that somebody else is doing, and it should be no problem to speak out against that because you different, right? Or are y'all the same? I need to know. Again, we need to know what we talking about and what we saying. It's either you different or you the same.
Was a lie. And that machine never got turned off. It just got a new nickname. See, you've watched the videos, the white woman who calls the police on a black man for bird watching, right? Performing fear into a phone. They learned structurally that their pain is a weapon. The whole system will pick up and swing for them, right? That is enormous power. It just doesn't look like power. And that's exactly what makes it work. Even the women's movement is tangled in it. Okay, the big name white suffragists made open.
Child, listen. Grady, goddamn UGA, yeah, probably in Valdosta, Wake Forest, Johns Hopkins, family private collection and libraries. Yeah, it depends on how far south that you want to go, because I refuse to believe, like I said, just because laws and legislations were put into place, these people's certain people's their mentality didn't just switch overnight. They just had to be sneaky with the shit. You know what I'm saying? They had to be sneaky with it, and it was brought back to life to me when I watched the Ahmaud Arbery trial. And that was a gentleman who was in South Georgia that was just jogging, right? Like to jog through this neighborhood. And he was fat. He was kind of curious, just like a lot of people are when they see a house being built, from scratch. They kind of look around and, walk around the property, stuff like that. But there was some folks who just, they couldn't let it go. They was just like, oh, he must be suspicious. You know what I mean? Ended up shooting him 3 times with a damn shotgun on the street after they chased him down with a car. Y'all remember Ahmaud Arbery? Rest in peace to the young king, man. I was obsessed with that case because that was bullshit. But you could tell all Paul said was, get your gun, Travis. And this nigga said, and went ahead charging out the door just because he was black. They didn't have no real reason to do that to him, besides the fact that they were raised by some racists who still believed in these types of ideologies. So they didn't go away. They just know how to hide them better. They haven't perfected the technique, and thank the Lord, you know what I'm saying? That's why we need to be, regardless if we like each other or not, like you hear something, you say something, like shoot. We are civilians. Civilians can't be snitches. Y'all tripping, bruh. Yep, you already know. I went to high school in Gwinnett, so I know what you're talking about, man. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, a lot of crazy shit happens. But no, this is more back in the day. When our folks used to come up missing, you know what I'm saying?
Racist arguments to win the white woman's vote. At the 1913 march, Ida B. Wells, one of the greatest journalists this country has ever produced, right, was told to march in the back with the other black women so she wouldn't offend the white Southern marchers. She refused, walked right where she wanted, right? But sit with the fact that she had to fight that fight inside the movement, right? That was supposedly for all women. Now, go all the way back to Sojourner Truth, right? Standing up at a women's convention, having to ask, ain't I a woman? She had to argue. She counted as a woman at all.
See, because again, that was that intersectionality that Black women are still dealing with, you know? Even when it comes down to the trope of a strong Black woman, that's the reason why they don't believe our pain when we go into, the hospital when we're giving birth, or when we have any type of sickness or illness at all. They don't believe us. That's why Black women are 3 times more likely to pass away from something as quote unquote simple as childbirth. That was the reason why we joined the feminine movement. Okay, we needed something. We weren't even seen as women, okay? We were seen just like y'all to them. And now that's the type of treatment that we're getting from our own men. And it's really sad. So again, there must be some, like I said, the high expectations and just dependence on mama. That's evident. But if that's the case, then let us do this, man. Let us try, at least. Let us try. What'd you say? Well, Grady Hospital was all white. The Black hospital is across from it now. It used to be called Hugh Spalding. See, I remember. Wait a minute. Okay, no, I'm thinking of something else. I know where Grady is. I didn't know that there was a hospital across from it. I remember when when Crawford Long got changed to Emory. That's what I remember. That's what I thought you was talking about. The white nurses worked only in Grady, and the Black ones worked over at Hugh Spalding, and sometimes the Black nurses did not give a damn. But I bet you they still showed up for work.
Right? In the women's rights room. Now that's deep. Our people named this thing, and naming it takes its power right back. In 1977, Combahee River Collective, a group of Black women, laid out how race and gender and class all hit us at the same time. In 1989, Kimberly Crenshaw gave it its legal name, intersectionality. Patricia Hill Collins wrote about the controlling images, right? The mammy, the Jezebel, the sapphire, the welfare queen, as deliberate tools of control, not accidents. And this.
I just, excuse me. Hold on. And I have another piece that I haven't even really started doing research on. All these different, you said they said the Jezebel, the sapphire, the mammy, all these different types of Black. How come other women just get to be women? Why don't the other, what I'm saying, all the other women just get to be women, but we get broken down to the smallest fraction. Again, why is that? This is Kwafi. This is her asking. Just the way that she's reading it, it sounds like she's giving a monologue, but this is what AI told her as the actual reason and justification of why society is obsessed with Black women, period. I mean, there was quotes, I believe, with him. Damn. See, if I misquote this, y'all probably gonna tear me up. So don't quote me on this one. But I believe, wasn't it Malcolm X that said that Black woman was the least protected citizen on in the United States? I have to look it up because I know I have it saved somewhere. I didn't save it for this one because yes, this whole presentation is on point. Again, her name is the People's Reporter. The People's Reporter. That is the name of her channel. Y'all please go and subscribe to her because she's on point and she for the people, man. She's not coming in a malicious way. This is my personal spin, okay? just to get, you know what I'm saying, get some eyes on here, you know, shoot, black woman is God. You know how many people want to debunk this shit? So I just decided to you know, throw the bait out there, see who caught it, you know, especially on the replays and on the reviews and things like that, because I know stuff like that is probably coming. But yeah, she is doing an awesome job. Yeah. I know. It's all good. It's all good. Let me see here. Where are we at? Because we got 22 likes. Can we get the likes up a little bit? If you guys, if you forgot, if you're new at the time, you know, just exit out the chat, hit the thumbs up, and come on back to the conversation, okay? Likes are absolutely free. Let's keep these independent conversations alive in these YouTube streets instead of talking points. If you want to support the channel, it's $ the LA Project. I'd appreciate it. We're going to get back to the review.
Scholar Moya Bailey gave us the exact word, misogynoir. Anti-Black women hatred, not just racism, not just sexism, the specific thing that lands only on us, where the two combined into something with its own flavor, right? Now, that word exists because the experience is real. It's specific, and for far too long, it was going unnamed. Now, it has a name, and now you have it. Okay, so why does it feel like it's coming out harder right now than ever? 3 honest answers. 1, it's finally on camera. Yeah, it's not that more of it's happening. It's that it can finally be recorded. The machine didn't get bigger. The room just got mic'd. And number 2, it's a backlash to your power. Black women right now are more visible, more independent, more economically free, and more unbothered than almost any point in this country's history. And more of us flat out refuse to perform smallness. And here's the rule every single time. When a group that was kept down starts rising, right? The people whose status depended on them being down get loud, right? The contempt gets sharper exactly when the old order is slipping. When you stop accepting the bottom rung, right? The people who needed you on it start screaming.
That is facts and a half, because I promise you, like, a lot of this stuff is not, you know, in terms of hierarchy or treatment in society. A lot of this shit is by default. Okay, it wasn't earned at all. There was no special skills tests or assessment that needed to be performed. There was no rites of passage. Okay, there were things that were put into place that became default. Leadership by default, beauty by default, respect by default, you know, everything by default. And now this shit is crumbling away. A lot of those facades and tropes and all of those things are starting to fade away because there's other things that are being taken advantage of. All right, the world is going to keep on evolving, and that's what's making people so upset, because you know, and that's the main thing that I have a problem with when it comes to, you know, the whole quote unquote hierarchy of, you know, I guess the man, woman, and child, you know, well, God, man, woman, child. And that's fine. I mean, as long as you find someone who is competent and who actually follows a man who follows God, then yes, definitely follow him. You have a better chance of following him. But unfortunately, what I've seen and what a lot of other of the ladies have seen is that just because a man has a stick and balls, that he feels like he's the leader by default, even though he hasn't done any of the work to refine himself, to discipline himself, or to develop himself in order for him to lead a family successfully. That's where we're at right now. Similar to African Americans right now who are eclipsing over, okay, we already showed you that we smart enough, we faster than you, we stronger than you, we're just as capable, we can live in the same neighborhoods, we can make the same amount of money, now what? You understand what I'm saying? It's progression. And I just the fact that the Black woman is like, she's the last one who should have, you know what I'm saying, any type of benefits, any type of comfortability, any type of luxury, any type of safety. That's what bothers me the most, because options provide some type of safety. Keys open doors, right? So whether it be education, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be coming from a good, stable household and having the support of them around you, whatever it is, confidence in yourself, you know, like use those things to open up more doors to better your life. Like that's, I mean, come on, everybody wants a good life, especially if you've done the work, man. Especially if you've done the work. I can get it. Like I said, if you didn't do the work, you shouldn't be getting nothing by default. There should be no pretty privilege. I don't believe in that shit either. What's in between your ears, madam? You know what I'm saying? What problems can you help figure out? How can you be an asset to my organization? I'm the same way with that too. Now, some women are actually very crafty to use both, to utilize their beauty and their privilege, because they ain't really tripping about that shit anyway. They're more concerned about gaining respect intellectually or socially, you know what I mean? Or just for whatever she can do, her skill set. Some women are cool with just the pretty privilege, but I don't think that should exist. You need to be bringing something to the table. You need to be bringing something to the table. Uh-oh. See, you done brought up, you done did it. You done brought up The Color Purple. He said Mr. from Color Purple was not a good man, but he was a businessman who at the time was called taking care of his family. I mean, yeah, but I mean, I think the best thing that he could have done is hired a domestic to help take care of his children after his first wife died, you know, the mother of his children, until he actually fell in love or found someone that he could love and respect and have a healthy relationship, and just trying to find another warm body. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just go ahead, pay a little a small fee, you know what I'm saying, for a lady, like I said, a domestic, to come out there and help you with your crib, man. Like, but see, Mr. had a trash ass daddy, because he was one of them El DeBarge looking motherfuckers. Like, he looked like he had privilege on a different level. Mr.'s daddy did, you know, he had the slick the silky hair, the light skin, you know, little short king. But Mr. was terrified of his father. So it's a little deeper than that. Yes, he was a businessman, but he didn't have to be brutish. He didn't have to almost grape, you know what I'm saying, Celie's sister, Nettie. He didn't have to kick her out and take the only person that loved her or gave her any type of happiness. He didn't have to do that, man. He didn't have to do that. All he had to do, like I said, was hire out somebody to help take care of his children and clean his house and cook for him until he found a replacement wife. That's what he should have did. That's what he should have did. But shouts out to The Color Purple, man. Good, bad, or indifferent, however you see it, man. Like, hey, we had things to clean up too. Because we didn't have a lot of those people, they was coming straight off the plantation. All they knew was brutality. They didn't know how to love each other 100% or deal with real relationships. That's what people needed to keep in mind as well. But that's also what's kind of cool about time period movies. You just have to keep in perspective the time period that you're watching it in.
That's what's happening. All right. Number 3, the appropriation engine in overdrive. This is the one that makes the people the angriest. The whole internet runs on our aesthetics, our hair, our slang, our dances, our attitude, our features, and it gets harvested. The lips, the curves, the braids, the tan, the way we talk. That's the pattern. It's old. It's the algorithm just made an instant and constant. And the platforms, they make money off the conflict. The I'm so tired of black women video gets pushed because outrage drives clicks. The mute is being monetized. They get paid to do this. So stop liking their stuff. Now that's me saying that part, not AI. Not every white woman wakes up and consciously runs this play. All right. Most of it is inherited, automatic. People repeating scripts they never once examined. It does not make them less.
Thank you. That's okay. So she said they're repeating scripts that they didn't examine. That's basically the same thing when I say people say these talking points and they don't even understand what they're saying. They're saying so much other things by trying to just be insulting to the other group or the other person that they talking to. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, shoot, if you wouldn't have opened your legs and let that nigga bust it, like, why? I don't understand why being the most vulgar, you know what I'm saying? Like, when we're describing the act of sex and having babies, like, like, why? I mean, why do you think that that's like gonna make me feel anywhere? Oh, yeah, I open my legs and he bust. Like, shit, that's how it's done, right? Like, why? I mean, is that supposed to be insulting to me? Like, is that supposed to be insulting? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, but people will say a whole lot of stupid stuff to try to make a point and not think about the other things that they're not saying along with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like, trying to say that, you know, like, Black women aren't interested in getting married when we're young. When yes, we are. It's mostly the young men who are trying to lie their way into draws most of the time and not marriage minded because they're thinking about career and worried about, you know, I guess, like I said, providing a certain lifestyle before they even get married. When, like I said, in my perspective and from what I've seen, finding somebody to build with you when you're young so you can trust them, you know, and you know exactly what they there for is the best thing, because you can't say, oh, well, I didn't marry her when I was younger because I didn't have enough money to take care of her. But now all these women, they just want me for my money because, you know, like, what? Like, what are you saying? People don't think they just regurgitate scripts that they did not examine. Thank you, the People's Reporter. Y'all, please subscribe. Hold on. Where is her? Let me get her damn link in there again. Y'all subscribe to the good sis.
Responsible, but it tells you exactly what you're up against. It's a 400-year-old system that trained a contempt into the whole culture and rewards people for performing it. And
to a certain degree, but a lot of Black women get caught up in something delusional called potential. I know you heard that one before. Yeah. So obviously the nigga didn't have his shit together before. But we were just like, you got to work with your man, baby. Most of us have been taught that as Black women as well.
A whole lot of people who'd rather keep the comfort of that inherited position than do the uncomfortable work of seeing it. Yeah, they sit silent. The ones who do it knowingly are the worst of it. The ones who do it without thinking are the bulk of it. And both of them keep the thing alive. Here's the part they never want you to figure out. The whole hierarchy only works if everybody agrees to it, including you, right? The system needs your buy-in. It needs you to feel small, to feel like the loud one who should quiet down. It needs you.
I'm gonna run this back real quick. I feel you on that one, Big J. But like I said, we got to start picking a struggle. Either we got to stop making excuses for not, you know, taking a chance and getting married young when we don't have anything besides potential, love, and each other. Or we gonna wait until we are stable, you know. But then, like I said, you can't be upset because the person who is, you know, other people on the outside notice the same things that you work so hard to do. If you work hard to get stable and you move in that way, then yes, other people from the outside, everybody's gonna notice that. That's like, you know, it always kind of like, a lot of stuff makes me laugh, but it's just like having a partner, right? And y'all in a relationship, you know, your partner fine as hell. You know what I'm saying? Do you think that when you go outside, you know, and y'all go places or the restaurants, that other people ain't going to find your partner fine as hell too? Yeah, of course they are. That should have been the reason, one of the reasons why you attracted to them. So we got to start picking a struggle. I understand what you're saying, you know what I'm saying? But I think that there's a lot of, I mean, but does that mean if you hit a certain age or certain status, then what are you going to do then? Does she have to have the same things that you bring to the table? And if that's the case, then are you going to ask her to get rid of the things that she's acquired in order to be like, yeah, see, this is where it gets sticky. We got to start picking struggles. Either you're going to take a chance, or you're going to run the risk or have to do a little bit more due diligence to understand the reason why somebody is there, right? I mean, even if somebody is a finished product, I wouldn't, me personally, I wouldn't advise even sharing the ins and outs about my occupation. I definitely wouldn't share how much money I made. I would take them on regular type of outings. I would wear regular type of clothes. At first, until I find out that, oh, she's a down to earth person. Let me turn up. You know what I'm saying? Because I think even that finished product still wants to find something special, right? But we got to start picking a struggle. Says I am in my 40s now. I don't care anymore. I'm on another level. I don't need or want a relationship. But if you find the right person, I'm pretty sure you're going to want a relationship with them. But I know seeing is believing. I don't know. But being able to be, by yourself and be happy that way, that's the best thing. I'm in my 40s too, but I want to be in a relationship. I want to be married. I'm not going to kill myself in the pursuit of such journey, but you know what I'm saying? It's definitely something I'm not gonna lie that I want. Coffee says, today, one, I don't care about how pretty you think you are, light or dark, or how big your booty is, or what other niggas have told you that you say you couldn't have married and did. You don't want to hear about the glory days? Come on, man. You gotta let her glow just a little bit. No. He said, nah, we ain't doing all that. I want to hear. See, don't want to be compared to that other man. Don't want to hear about the mother. You know what I'm saying? Come on, nah. I'm just playing. That was funny.
Of them keep the thing alive. Here's the part they never want you to figure out. The whole hierarchy only works if everybody agrees to it, including you, right? The system needs your buy-in. It needs you to feel small, to feel like the loud one who should quiet down. It needs you to take the bottom rung and sit on it voluntarily. So a Black woman who absorbed all of it and shrank herself down, she's not a threat. She's the machine working perfectly. You see how that goes?
Oh, I was on mute. Oh, bars. Hold on, let me rewind that.
One who should quiet down. It needs you to take the bottom rung and sit on it voluntarily. So a Black woman who absorbed all of it and shrank herself down, she's not a threat. She's the machine working perfectly. You see how that goes?
Man, I'm trying to tell you, try to keep yourself safe. Be like, I'm a Black woman, but all these Black women is hoes. What? Since when? Like, oh, everybody except you, right? Lord have mercy. Again, that's not how it works. People need to really think about what they're saying and why they feel so negatively and so bad about the people that fits in their demographic. I would never understand that shit.
So don't do that, okay? The real threat is a Black woman who didn't absorb it. Yeah. Who looks in the mirror and finds herself beautiful on her own terms. Who's loud, right? When she wants to be, and unbothered when they...
Boy, because I'm telling you, me as a single mama, do something to my kids. I'm finna get loud. Like it you know how dangerous it is for a woman to just be submissive in general. Like, hell no. That's the reason why mama bear, that phrase exists, okay? Because she gonna have to flip the switch depending on what the situation is. You know what I'm saying? If she's caught by herself or she is by herself at the time in life, she gonna have to take care of herself. And if she just sits, falls and rolls over, like, what? Anything can happen to her. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't be understanding that. And even when we think about the phrase, a woman is acting masculine, right? See, usually when that is being said about a woman, that's because she's being loud or louder than usual, right? She might cut you off. She might be seen as disrespectful. Anything else? What other things, chat, make women masculine? I want to know. How can women act? Give me some characteristics of how women act to be considered masculine in your eyes. So I put, hold on. Loud. Cutting you off while talking. What was the third one I said? Shit. Loud, cutting you off. I don't know what disrespect is a broad term, but I'll just put disrespectful. Anything else? Are there what other things? I know as much as that accusation likes to be thrown around, please tell me some other characteristics of what makes a woman masculine. BJ said disrespectful to men without reason. Okay. That's masculine. Okay, so you said it earlier. Come on, man. Let me see here. Is this the ones and twos? Wait, no, because you talked about you don't care how pretty they are. You don't care about, well, man, you care about the education. Like I said, when it's time to pay half of that, them bills and stuff, that education is going to help kick into the job that she gets. And the fact that she's capable to keep the family going if anything, God forbid, happens to you, like y'all be trying to set the family up for failure just to keep your ego intact. Like, that's crazy. I don't know. Okay, my bottom line of asking this, dehumanizing his choices. Okay. Oh my God. Burping and farting in front of me or talking about how bad your stuff stinks. God, oh my God. Okay. All right. So is it safe to say being loud, cutting you off while talking, being disrespectful, dehumanizing choices, burping and farting, is this what we say that men just generally do? Because again, I don't think people be paying attention to what the fuck they say. If all of these are masculine traits, so men are just, again, it's just another pass to. It's saying that that's what men do. Shut up, nigga. Been talking about myself until you talk about me. Anyway. Is this what we're saying, that basically, okay, so if a man does it, then that's just typical. That's cool, because that's what men do. Men be stinking, farting, burping. Men be dehumanizing choices. Men are loud. They cut you off while talking, and they're disrespectful. Is that what we're saying that men do on a regular basis? Because again, we got to think about what we're saying. Maybe that's just somebody with bad manners or don't know social cues. Maybe don't have no coof or no tact in their delivery. But calling it masculine is basically saying these are things that men be doing. Men be smacking and chewing and eating with their hands and utensils. Hey, Sharon, you right in time. We going over what men be doing, because these are things that they say women do that are masculine. So if that's the case, then it must mean that men smack and chew and eat with they hands and no utensils. They don't pronounce their words correctly. They loud, walking in Walmart with bonnets on, using words like my nigga. They be burping and farting in front of me and talking about how, should we go on and on? Because this is dehumanizing choices. This is what men do. If it's masculine, then it must be what men do on a regular basis, right? And this is mine. Mine was very short. Loud, cutting you off while talking, and disrespectful. Lord have mercy. See, y'all don't understand what y'all be saying while trying to say something else, while trying to insult women. You say a hell of a lot about yourself. That's amazing. I know. Bars. I've been on this shit, Sharon. I've been on my shit. Just leave me alone. Leave me alone. You feel me? Been on my shot. Okay, so we are going to wrap up what AI said is the reason why society is obsessed with Black women. This is a review. And we're going to finish up. Oh, please. I know. Let me like who I like. All right. I'm dropping gems. I'm dropping gems. I'm spitting my speech. I'm speaking my speech. I'm sorry. I'm being masculine. My bad. Let me put, like I said, because all the rude and uncouth and barbaric behavior that belongs to y'all, right? As soon as women do it, oh my God, it's masculine. No, no, you can't even do that because he wasn't even in the chat before y'all started giving your answers, okay? And I knew the reason. See, I asked quote unquote dumb questions because I already know the answer. I just love it when other people just, verbalize it for themselves. It just lets me rest in my femininity. Okay, let's go.
Call her out. You understand? Who is visibly and undeniably brilliant in rooms built to keep her out? Who builds the money, the audience, the influence, and does it without asking permission and without performing?
Child, because I know you bring the right woman to the right function, you getting that raise. You getting that raise. You gonna meet them people. You bring the right woman to the right function. You gonna get that. You gonna get that respect.
The smallness they assigned her. Every single one of those women is a piece of evidence walking around in public. She disproves the lie just by existing. And the more of us there are, and the more visible we are, the harder the lie is to hold up, because it was never true. And remember what I told you at the start, that their worth was built as your opposite. That means it's a seesaw. If blackness isn't actually ugly, then white beauty was never a natural default.
Hold on, because sometimes I be cooking. I know, what I'm saying, I'm a chick. People don't want to tell me when I'm doing the right thing, but shoot, like I said, if you like what you hear, and go ahead and support the host of the channel, $ the LA Project. Let's go.
If black women are obviously genius, then the whole intelligent ranking was always fake. If the features they call ghetto on you are so desirable, the entire internet is buying them, then the ghetto was never about taste. It was about gatekeeping. You rising reads to the structure as them falling. That's why the hate gets sharper exactly when you're winning, says AI. It's not bad timing. It's cause and effect. Go on, AI. And here's the final piece. For most of history, the contempt had teeth. It could deny you the job, the loan, the vote, the seat in the school, right? The insult was backed by hard power. But a black woman today, with her own platform, her own income, her own vote, her own aesthetic that the whole world is copying, she can't be forced back down so easily anymore. So what's left? The noise, the tearing down content, the constant low drum beat. That's what they're doing.
Right, because like I said, a lot of this stuff has a origin story, and it's just like, I don't know why the arching goal is to just bypass everything that black women have been through, pretend like they've had a sweet and pampered type of lifestyle when this video started off saying that it set the standard of beauty the complete opposite of us for a reason. You know what I'm saying? They did that off a rip, and because they have the standard above, they needed the standard below. But really, we're the most desired, most emulated, most criticized, and most attacked. When we just honestly, when the ones of us that actually do try our best, we don't meet your standards or your expectations, then we become the biggest enemy. I just think, I don't know, man, like that needs to be examined. It needs to be examined. Stop being so scared. This is the moment where black men should be proud. That say, yeah, this my woman right here. She is so capable of so much. Yeah, she a trip sometime, man. She be doing her shit, but she know what she know. Especially if you got you got a black woman who is confident and capable of her abilities, who is a team player and cooperative. I'm not saying everybody gonna make it. Everybody's not supposed to make it. That's what survival of the fittest is. So this era and this time and place where the majority of people feel like they deserve to have XYZ. No, the fuck you don't. You gotta cultivate yourself, young man, young woman. You gotta cultivate yourself to be worthy of being a part of a family or starting a family, being a wife, being a husband. And hopefully you're paying attention to the intentions of the person that you choose and, you know, that you claim to like, right? Because that's forever. It should be anyway. This is what my sweet brother Noob said. Seriously, that's exactly what I do. I ask smart questions when I already know. Exactly, because I'm trying to help you to it. You know, it's similar like a therapist, and I'm not saying that I am one at all, but that's all even what they do. They help you realize stuff that you already know yourself. They're not there to solve your problems, but us as human beings, we go through much stuff. We get distracted by so much. We trick ourselves out of what we know we need to be doing. We make excuses of why we cannot for whatever reason, right? So I'm right there with you, bro. Like, I'm gonna just help you get there, okay? Let me hold your hand while we walk down the hallway. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, no, I don't. And this is the thing. And I know y'all probably hate this, but this is the beauty about the Black woman. We gonna tell you, baby, ain't no such thing as a dumb question. Okay, if you don't understand something, please ask. Okay, don't assume that you know, because that could literally be life and death for us. Like, please, if you want me to follow you and you want me to have confidence in whatever, if you are unsure about something, please ask me, because there might be something that I know that you don't know, and vice versa. Like I said, the stick and balls don't make you the ultimate teacher of life. It doesn't provide leadership by default or none of that. You know what I'm saying? None of that. And that's okay. Same thing with women. Every woman, just because she, you know, saying she got something between the legs, I don't mean that she should be a mother. A lot of these people don't need to be moms because their tolerance is low. And they're not always team players. And it's okay to be selective, to be a choosy lover. Okay? It is okay. And I'll be so proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Because the family gonna flourish, it's gonna thrive, and people gonna be happy. They gonna be on the porch smiling, you know what I'm saying, with the little bit that they got, whatever. Or you might have a lot. It don't matter. Either way, you're gonna be happy. I bet you that. You'd be happier than trying to chase something that like I said, something that you want but not necessarily need. Like, a lot of people, they like that baddie aesthetic and stuff like that, but then when you find out the long nails, it stops them from handling raw meat and cooking stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the upkeep of how, like I said, every time they get the nails, just the nails alone, that's at least $200. You know what I'm saying? Like, the maintenance is crazy. And we might like the way that it looks and stuff like that, but we got to start being realistic. And that's not necessarily what you deserve to have in this life. The best thing that you can do is to get what's conducive with your life. Bye-bye. Okay, let's see here. Oh, sorry, that was my little pistols. I need a soundboard. Seriously, if I had a soundboard, I'd be clowning on y'all ass right now. Oh, please. Sharon's my old co-host, man. We good, man. Y'all act like I can't salute. I can't say hello. God damn. All he said was, he said bars, and he said, good evening, everyone. That's all he said. Like, watch out for that nigga LA. Damn. What Noopsy said? Hold on. Oh, that's not how you felt. Damn. So I was just making fun because you said you asked dumb question. No, I'm sorry. I had put my air quotations up. I know it's a smart question, but I sometimes I don't say it in a dumb way, but I'm unsure of myself. Like, I'm very sure. And unfortunately, that's something that I have had to learn as a woman, because just my tone. You know, I could have swore that delivery does not, you know what I'm saying, doesn't matter when it comes to dudes. Like, if they could yell at you or whatever, it don't matter how I said it, just do it, god damn it. Like, you know, but if a woman says something to you, And it's got to be, sugar and spice and everything nice, because the tone matters. Unfortunately, we have to learn how to navigate in this world. We got to learn to navigate in this world. I find it funny now because I don't really give a damn at this point. Shoot. A lot of men love the fact that I'm 5'1", I cuss like a sailor, and my voice in my soul sounds like I'm 7 feet tall. Okay. But I still will fold like laundry when I get in his arms. Ooh. When I get in his arms. Well, it should matter for the man as well. The woman shouldn't just be subjugated to tyrannical behavior. You know, we all get frustrated sometimes. I don't get no complaints about the tone. They think that shit funny, actually. They think it's funny when my little ass get mad. I'll be like, okay, like, you can laugh all you want to, but I'm just, as long as you hear me now, okay? And I don't care about it. I don't care about it at all. No, I'm a whole foot taller than that, but I'm still gonna talk my shit. And that's because I've had to take care of myself, defend myself. I shouldn't have to explain myself. If y'all got sisters, mamas, whatever, y'all know.
So understand what that noise actually is, says AI. It is the sound of a control system that lost its hard power, right? And is down to its last tool, trying to wear you out so you'll do the oppression yourself. The volume went up because the leverage went down. They're not yelling because they're winning. They're yelling because they can't push anymore. I'm living AI today. So what's the threat?
And that's all from AI. And I get it. Sometimes it's a little biased depending on who's typing the questions and how you type the question. But since we can't see the question in the screen, then we're going to have to take her word for it. Okay. And
the threat is your.
And she been cooking.
Refusal. Not that you do anything to them. That you'll stop doing the one thing they always needed you to do, which was doubt yourself. The lid is heavy because what's underneath it was never weak. It was load bearing the whole time for them. AI is beautiful at times, ain't it?
At times. Okay. So this is how I feel about it. People can only be controlling if they can actually alter or change or dictate the actions of my day. People can give their advice all they want to. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you shouldn't do this. Oh, but unless they're actually controlling or changing the course of my day, they're not controlling me. So are you sure that, I mean, are you doing what people are saying? Or are they just kind of like, I don't know, because sometimes you just care about your people's. Okay, well, make sure you do this. Well, here, take an extra sandwich. Is that controlling? Or is that making sure you good and maybe a little coddling and enabling, even just making sure that you have something to drink and like, man, or is it controlling to where they are dictating and altering your everyday life? Because I think that's a big difference. That's a big difference. Like I said, if y'all just want to be able to do whatever you want to do, I'm going to keep my comments to myself. But if you get into a relationship or if you're with a woman, right, let's just, she's gonna be the main person that's gonna provide the meals, right? So if and I've brought this up before just to see if people was gonna be honest. So if she didn't give you your favorite meal, which was fried chicken cooked in Crisco like your mama did, macaroni and cheese and collard greens, and she gave you a plate of baked fish with light seasoning and vegetables because she's looking out for your diet, would you eat it? Would you eat it? Or do you want her to be your maid and cook what the fuck you said to cook, bitch? Like, get in the kitchen. I told you I want extra large, extra Crisco. I want the big piece of chicken. But we don't want to see you with a heart attack or get up out of here early. So let me give you this fish and these vegetables. And you're going to say that's bullshit. Like, what are we doing here? Is it controlling or is it advice? Let's keep it a stack. Let's keep it funky. Let's keep it funky, because I come from the generation of women who have that silent type of influence. You know what I'm saying? Like the pastor's wife, you know, the people who was like, you know, really kind of like, you know, they were, you know, somebody's in their little circles and communities and stuff like that. But I never seen them yell. I've never seen them talk out of turn. But every time they gave their husband an idea or said something, they made their husband feel like they thought of that shit themselves. See, that's crazy how women have to be covert like that just for a man to keep his ego. But again, you know what I'm saying? I was around the women who let their men take all the credit, but they was very influential, and they still got whatever they wanted to done today. You feel me? Like if they wanted something done, they was going to suggest it. They were just going to put they was going to put their whip appeal on that thing. You know what I'm saying? So he'll listen. It wasn't always sex. They might have made his favorite cake. You feel me? And gave him a nice slice after dinner with a glass of milk, and like, honey, I just want to talk to you for a second. And that's when she gonna tell you what's on her mind. And you're gonna go to sleep, and you're gonna be like, damn, baby, this kind of say a good idea. I'm gonna use that shit tomorrow. And then you use the shit tomorrow at the meeting, and you the man. You feel me? That's what I'm used to seeing. That's what I'm used to seeing. But we got to stop being told that we cap. You know what I'm saying? If that's how we come across, because some of us are still that way, stop calling us cap, bro. What's going on, Smitty? Oh, you back. Yes. On Smash. Damn. Am I? I've only been going for 2 hours and 46 minutes. I ain't been live in a few days. Some days I'm on, some days I'm off. But today I'm definitely on. All right, let's get back to this.
So now, the real question.
I'm sorry. That's one thing I do love about a Black woman. Our laugh. Whew. When it is genuine, it comes from our soul, and it is contagious as hell, or at least will make you smile. Regardless of how loud it may be, it is literally the expression of our joy at the moment.
What do? And I have to be honest with you. There is no solution that makes them stop, right? We don't control them, right? And the trap hiding inside that question is that it quietly makes your freedom depend on their behavior, right? The second it does, you've handed them the keys all over again. So we ask a better question, says AI. Not how do I make them stop, but how do I stop spending my one and only life as a hostage? That one you can actually answer. And here's how. Number one, take your attention back. Their last working weapon is your focus, right? They need you to read the comments. Right? Absorbing the I'm so tired of them videos, litigating your own worth in your own head against people who were never going to rule in your favor. Come on, AI, come through. Number two, build materially, wealth, skill, property, audience, expertise, the boring, compounding things, right? Not as a performance for anybody watching, but because those things are leverage. A woman who knows her worth and owns her income and holds her own platform is in a completely different position than a woman who only got the first one, right? Self-knowledge keeps you from being controlled on the inside.
Amen.
Building keeps you from being controlled on the outside. You want both because they come at you on both fronts. Number three, do it in formation, not alone. The isolation is part of the design.
I'm sorry. AI's got some, they coming through with the facts today, man. They coming through with the facts. Appreciate my hearts. Appreciate my hearts. Appreciate my flowers. Okay. No, AI is on point today. You understand me? Like, especially when you're alone, the thing that the main machine fears the most is unity. That's why they keep all this bullshit going. That's what she's talking about in the algorithm with all this divisive content and this versus that, and that's why we can't trust and Like, the machine, that's the fuel. That's the machine's blood. You feel me? Like that's what keeps this thing going. Yeah, it's provocative. You know what I'm saying? But that shit has been in place since slavery. The supposed Willie Lynch letters, I'm not sure if they're real or not. I don't know if it's a theory or not. I don't know, but I mean, it makes sense. It really does. It really does. And the worst thing that they want you to have is some type of self identity. That's why they keep pushing everything the way that they have, whether it be through marketing. Like it was really difficult, you know what I mean, at one point in time, especially when I was younger, to find like a doll, you know what I'm saying, or a doll that a child, you know what I mean, that actually looked decent, that was an African American doll, you know, like I said, me and Mahogany, we brought up Cabbage Patch Kids and stuff like that, like back in the day, but like now they have so much more in terms of diversity. We are one. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And the more that we actually realize that, you know, the better off we'll be. That, you know, Martin Luther King wasn't shot because of Selma or anything else. It was the Poor Man's March, you know, because he was unifying other races of people, them, you know, just ages, genders, everything, because a lot of people had it up to here, but that's what the machine that's what the machine hates, and that's what it fears. That's what it fears. It fears unity. So anytime that we can find some bullshit ass reason to cast blame on somebody else, you know what I'm saying, like I said, in order for us to sleep at night, then that just seems like what a lot of us have been doing. Does it make it any more legitimate? No. No, it just makes it another talking point. Appreciate that, Sigma Boy. I'm trying my best, you know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to practice to make sure, like, okay, yeah, let me make sure that, like, I can actually carry a show. I can do this by myself. Saying that I don't appreciate other, you know, panelists and stuff like that in different formats, but especially for the replay aspect, I try to keep, you know, some of these shows a little bit shorter, you know what I'm saying, just to like I said, to get more of the meat and potatoes, you know what I'm saying, instead of just being a whole bunch of maybe gems and nuggets, like literally hidden in hours of, you know, conversation. So I hope y'all understand. Yes, for sure, and that's the reason why, yeah, it happened when it happened. Appreciate it, he said. Preach. Exactly. Don't nobody make it by themselves. Like, people, I hate that shit. I got it out the mud. No, the fuck you didn't. Somebody helped your ass. Somebody helped your ass, and that's okay. That is okay. I don't understand. It's like the ego is taking over people's, like, whole lives, you know what I'm saying, where they can't be seen a certain way. What's going to be more conducive? And I don't care. Like, there's nothing more sexy to me than a man who is confident in himself. It doesn't give a fuck what other people say, because he knows the reason behind why he's doing what he's doing. All right? It don't take nothing away from him handling his quote unquote business. It makes him more attractive to the woman and his, you know what I'm saying, and more respected by his children and his family. Power, like personal power. What do you mean by that, Big J? It's called power. Like, power, I think power over yourself, because it's like, you know, the world has been an asshole since it's been born. You know what I'm saying? We want to be seen as powerful. I get that, but if you powerful and reckless and shit, hell no. No, that's not no sexy simping. That's not no sexy simping, man. So y'all done got this stuff messed up, because husband and wife are supposed to submit to each other. And it's not about how somebody looks, or, first of all, looking crazy in public is probably not gonna happen with the right person. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of men who like toxic shit. So I don't even want to hear that. They like the girls that throw the fist, but I'm not finna get thrown off my square right now. Y'all not finna knock me off. Self-determinate, just self-awareness. Self-awareness. You know what you know what I'm saying? Like everything probably isn't as serious to you as what other people from the outside would see it. You know what I'm saying? And the hyping up from the outside. I can't stand it. Like there's so many men who be commenting on men in actual relationships that be trying to run a okay, let me rephrase this. There's too many men who are trying to run other men's households. Shut the fuck up. If that man wants to treat his woman in a certain aspect or a certain way, don't you think that she deserves it? Like, don't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? For this shit, these women don't deserve it. Maybe his wife does deserve the extra amount, and I don't think that you could ever simp for your partner. Come on now. There's mutual desire. There's mutual love right there. How could you ever simp? Y'all gonna have to explain that one day, because that sounds like another fear tactic that they sprinkle on y'all men to keep y'all single. It's not women. You know what I'm saying? Other men be keeping other men single all the damn time. Straight up. Straight up. Telling men what they need to be doing. Don't be buying her that. Nigga, if you don't get out my household, I'm gonna have to slap you on my damn self. Like, I don't understand why that's not the response. Because I wish somebody would tell me how I need to be treating my man. If that's the case, then you need to be help paying some bills and doing all kinds of extra shit. You're like, no, you ain't finna have that type of you're not gonna have that type of influence on me, because I'm finna be the type of woman that he likes. Okay, just like he's gonna be the type of man that I like, or whoever the hell likes. And that's what I mean. It's not public simp. It don't have nothing to do with simping or none of that shit. It's about being yourself and being confident and not allowing the outside world to dictate what you should and should not be doing in your damn relationship, because the world will keep you single. And that's my only point. Well, shit, I love men. Not every man, but I love mine. Hey. Okay, let's go ahead and start this back up. Like I said, y'all just gotta find somebody, you know what I'm saying, who wants what you want, man. And hopefully she, shaped like a little Coke bottle. But if not, you know what I'm saying, we can get her a personal trainer. Y'all go walking together and she get down to whatever weight together. But that inside, that character, those personality traits, that bubbliness, that she got that energy. She makes you feel like that you can conquer the world. You can't buy that stuff. You can buy a stylist. You can figure out somebody to do her hair. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you feel like you don't like, you can get somebody to do that for a small fee. But in terms of the way she makes you feel and the way she shows up for you in the world, you cannot buy that, man. Stop trading the 80% for the 20. Stop doing that.
Tempt wants you alone, comparing yourself, competing with the next black woman over the few scraps the system pretends to offer.
Right on time.
Tired and unwitnessed. The antidote is community that actually sees you. Other black women who don't need any of this explained because they live it, right? Who pour back into you, who build alongside, not against. That's not soft advice, that's strategy. A network is harder to suppress than a woman standing by herself, you see. Number 4, stop trying to convert people.
See, that's where you get it wrong again. You got to get you the right one, man, because especially in my white tee. No, we finna get some actual jeans that fit your damn waist without the belt, goddamn. Like, I changed these niggas styles up. You gotta get you the right one, bro. Like, stop getting these women who you have to tell me everything to do. And no, see, sometimes that's the best thing about having a woman who is decisive and actually has some experience in life, because she can see some areas in you where you be like, oh, All I gotta do is just take them over to DTLR, you know what I'm saying? Get them some Levi's and goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter. Like, we can fix that. We can fix that. But you gotta find the right one. Which one? Where are y'all looking at? What are you looking for? That shit crazy. What's up, SD? He'll smack your forehead. Say hi first. Big J said, finding someone is like pulling teeth. I'm in my early 40s. I don't have time for that. Look, we in the same boat. I'm not like trying to find somebody, but at the same time, like, I hope that you not paying attention to when, you know, that person gives you the eye when you at the grocery store, you know what I'm saying? Like, still pay attention. Keep your head up. You feel me? Keep it up. Because you never know what you're going to find, you know what I'm saying? Or who might find you. Everything doesn't have to be as... I had to take it back. What is that? Cannonball? Shit. Hey, you know what time it is. What's up, A-Dub? I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. Like, I just really feel like folks just are, they're drawn to a certain aesthetic or a certain thing that they're paying attention to, but they're not prioritizing the right things. That's just what I feel. I don't know where the hell this nigga King Pix is at. Cause like I said, I can see y'all talking to him, but I can't see him at all. That's crazy. You better be talking to me nice, or y'all get him the hell up out of here. Cause I don't want to see it on the replay. All right.
Some white people have done the real work and they're solid. Okay. Most who say that they haven't. And you'll learn to smell the performance fast. But here's the freeing part. It's not your job to educate them. All right, audit them or earn their basic decency. You do not owe anybody the labor of explaining your own humanity. Spend your energy on the people who already get it, right? And the life you're building. Let the rest sort themselves.
I'm sorry. It's like, I can hear you say that nigga. You so silly, Simon.
Out. Trying to be understood by people committed to misunderstanding you is just a hostage situation in a prettier outfit.
If he's cutting up, can you get him out of here, please? Because I can't see him. What? Hold on. Is this in terms of gas? Like gasoline? Oh, shit. I don't know. I'm not the 92. I don't know. I don't really know too much about this in terms of even. Okay, well, if I haven't blocked it, it's. Oh, I do, because he was. I don't know. He was talking about. Oh, goodness. He was talking about some crazy shit. Back near Christmas, getting asking for cookies and breast milk. I said, nigga, what? Oh, hell no. Like, yeah, so I did block it. Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. But still, like, how's he? Never mind. We'll get him out of here. Shit. Like I said, you talk to me nice or you don't talk at all. Coming to somebody's channel and saying crazy shit is diabolical. 92 octane? What's the difference? Thank you. Yeah, he said that shit back like in Christmas. I'm up there doing a ladies panel, you know what I'm saying? And I can see all the you can see all the chat, you know what I'm saying, through StreamYard or whatever. I was trying not to pay attention. I was like, nigga, what? Like, yeah, so you get smacked for shit like that, because I don't like that. I don't know you. I don't know you. I ain't got no, and damn sure don't get no support. You feel me? Like, y'all be thinking women up here for free. That's why I even stopped camming down. Like, shoot, y'all gonna get a pretty Yeah, you gonna get a pretty AI avatar from now on. Cause I don't know what y'all be doing while y'all listening to us talk and folks be beating off and all kind. Ugh, it's just like, come on, man. Like, ladies and gents, please act like you got some sense. Please. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Would y'all stop? Okay, listen, y'all, and I will even appreciate this in other chat rooms. If somebody gets blocked or timed out, can y'all stop snitching about who did it? Like, damn, everybody don't, they don't feel too they don't take too kindly, to be getting timed out, even though they know they be cutting up and acting a fool. But see, y'all gotta stop snitching, bruh. Stop telling on folks. I mean, supposedly he was just cutting up. He lucky I can't fucking see what he's saying right now. I should have went on my dummy account, but I you know what? For me, honestly, out of sight, out of fucking mind. Excuse my French, but I really be having to do that. Block parties all day. You know what I'm saying? Hide the channel. Yeah. Like all that shit. I don't give a damn. Out of sight, out of my mind. Stop bothering me. There's too many people, like I said, who want to knock you off your square. I've been up here. Ooh, I'm so good. Monologue 3 hours, 5 minutes, boy. 5 minutes. I can hold a whole show by myself. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm really proud of myself right now. Because there's been a lot going on in these streets. And I just don't know why, what I'm saying, out of all the channels, it's the ladies' channels that be getting messed with. It's like y'all don't want us to come around no more, but y'all, you hate to see us. What's the saying? You hate to see us, I hate to see you go, but I love to see you walk away. Thank you. I did that one myself with the snarky face on it too. Like, yeah. Hold on. You gotta try and see what you can do on your own sometimes. See what you can create. Okay, thanks, A-Dub. Yeah, that's my skeptical. And that's the only eyebrow. I can only raise one eyebrow, y'all. Like, I be trying to practice with the other one, with my left one. It do not be working. I can raise that right eyebrow independently, though, like The Rock. You feel me? Like, do you smell what LA is cooking? You never know. All right. Oh, my goodness. Coffee, you are obsessed. See, that's why AI had to let us know why society is obsessed with Black women. You know what I'm saying? I know accountability is a big thing for you, but unless we actually respect each other, it is damn near impossible to hold someone accountable, my dear.
Do that. Okay? The goal was never their approval, and it was never their defeat. Because both of those keep you turned around facing them. See, the goal is to live a life so completely your own that they become weather. See, you don't win this by making them stop. You win it by becoming a woman whose joy, whose people, whose work, and whose sense of self don't run on their current at all. That right there is the version of you the entire machine was built to prevent. Not an angry you. They've got a whole trope ready for angry, okay? Anger they know how to use. A free you. Free is the one they never figured out how to handle. Because free doesn't need anything from them. And a system that has nothing you need has no leverage left to pull. You understand?
See, and yeah, I think that regardless of the complaints, especially of the consumerism and things like, the machine is depending on certain things, and like I said, in order for it to thrive. You know what I mean? Let me rewind that one more time, because she said something that I found very interesting.
Angry, okay? Anger they know how to use. A free you. Free is the one they never figured out.
Yeah, that's the part. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. See, that kind of reminds me of just any type of way that any individual finds a way of doing something in an easier fashion or inventing something. Then guess who comes along with they hand out, well, what they palm up and they no when they fist out and they palm up. That's what my peoples used to say. Looking for they cut, Uncle Sam. You feel me? They hate the machine hates you being free. It hates you being able to figure out how to do things on your own without being a part of the consumerism in the way that benefits it itself. Okay, so at this point, we're kind of done. You know what I'm saying? Like Black women, we're kind of done. We're kind of tired. Like we're kind of tired of the same old. Oh my God! Like you guys are just so masculine and rough. Like your attitudes are just so much. Oh my God, your attitudes are so bad that we have to go to a whole nother country and learn another language to deal with a woman who might stab us or run us over with their car, because we don't want to deal with y'all's mouths. Like it's just too much. You know what I'm saying? We tired of that. Like going on then. Like if that's how you feel, going on, please. And prosper. Go forth and prosper. That's all we ask of you these days, because it's not really worth it to me. I don't suggest or advise, or will I ever advise a woman to compete or alter herself to be more appealing for a man, because his mind can change at the drop of a dime, and then you know what I'm saying, your booty all botched up, you know what I'm saying, your body all fucked up because you tried to become his little fun girl, and that's what he used you for, and now he's gonna marry the serious one. You know what I'm saying? Like I would never ever advise a woman to do that, you know what I'm saying, because it's just not it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. Somebody who is going to actually care about you is going to like you for you. It is not too much changing that you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. And that's what you should be going through, man or woman. You find who likes you, man. Like, because I'm telling you, that type of stuff is hard to find. It's hard to find. No, Simon, I am not going to drop the link because I got zero support. It's like I said, it was already kind of late. I went after Candy Cane. Thank you so much, Candy, for the redirect. But technically it was a little bit earlier than I was going to go. So now I've been, it's 2:00 in the morning here. I kind of need a reason to stay up, to be complete. Pause. But I'm gonna need some support or something. $25. I'll drop the link for a panel, but I'm not doing it for nothing because I would so much rather be in bed after this show. Damn, I got sidetracked. It's all good. Let's see here. Say this is not men holding women accountable this week. Y'all been holding each other accountable due to betray sisterhood, old and new channels. It was needed. Well, and that's the thing about the sisterhood, because it's not a blanket thing, you know what I mean? So just because we all women and it's just like, we're just gonna be on the same type of code, like no, we have the different depths, and different connections, and some connections are more on a business type of situation, some connections are more on a superficial, I just enjoy your company type of situation, and some connections are no, we like fam, you know what I'm saying, and I got your back type shit. So don't get it twisted. All teams and link ups and stuff like that, that's not the sisterhood. That's just convenience, you know what I'm saying? And it's friend, like that's what I call them, friendships of convenience. It's not really it's not for anything more, but sometimes what can I get from you? What can I abstract? What ideas can I take? Stuff like that. So, you got to just, recognize who your tribe is, you know what I'm saying? And just know, 'cause I'm telling you, I got a sisterhood, but y'all don't know. I would definitely not let you know who them motherfuckers are, because that's the moment that y'all gonna start, people from the woodworks gonna try to start chipping away at it. Because for some reason, a black woman can't have nothing. Not even somebody that she can kiki with and just speak with and be herself with. Right? That's a problem. Unity, bye. I am on one. Did y'all ever tell me what the difference is between? No, hold on, because Jay said I was 92 octane. What does that mean? Yeah, 92. What does that mean? What you asked me my octane? 87, 93, 92. What does that mean? I don't know. I'll look it up, I guess. And I'll probably laugh about it because the reference is gonna be crazy. the reference is probably crazy. That's what I'm like, I don't even want to know right now. I don't even want to know it right now. I'll look it up when I get off, man. But oh what, never mind, don't even ask. I don't, like I said, I'll look the shit up. Let me y'all look crazy. 87. Lord have mercy. Again, I will look this. Hold on. Let me write this down so I know who to cuss out the next time I see them. Hold on. Big J said I'm 92 octane, and Coffee said I'm 87. Damn, and not be. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. See, now I feel slighted, and not being perfect is okay, bruh. You're absolutely right. Well, why you gotta put that shit right after that? I'm rough around the edges. That's what makes me lovable. It's time to ride. It's time to ride, Daddy. Like, shit, where we going? Where are we going? Hold on, I'm still writing this down. I promise you, I'm on y'all's necks. I grew up with brothers and stuff, so I know it's all playful. It's all love. Hold on, BJ, you said 92. Okay. I'm gonna look this shit up when I get off. It sounds like, yeah, different types of gas. I do know that. I don't know what they do. All right. Hey, how about I'm gonna give you a knuckle sandwich? Is that okay? I'm gonna just put my dukes up, you know what I'm saying, give you a virtual knuckle sandwich. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's what I assume, but again, I don't know the difference. I mean, doesn't make it. I mean, I know it's supposed to go in certain types of cars. Okay, yeah, but I'm not a foreign or nothing like that. I don't know. I don't even like to be referred to no damn vehicle, but I know some y'all can't
handle
because
help. Free doesn't need anything from them, and a system that has nothing you need has no leverage left to pull. You understand? So that's the solution.
25
not
likes,
a way to fix it.
Likes. Let's get those up, please. If you forgot,
a way to stop being available for the one job they still need you and I to do, which was doubt yourself, doubt myself, right? And the fact that you came looking for the truth, the fact that you wanted the real version and not the comfortable one, yeah. That already tells me which woman you are. Well, thank you, AI, because I sure enough appreciate that. All right. I sure enough appreciate that. Okay, AI. Yeah, that's.
I'm sorry, that sounded too scripted. I read your comment the same time that she laughed. Sigma, what does this mean exactly? I played sports, but I didn't like certain things at the same time. Like I didn't like frogs and slugs, and you know what I mean. I didn't like slimy stuff. I wasn't touching those snakes, but I'll play. My brother's a year and a half younger than me, so I'll go play basketball with him. I played different sports growing up. And used to, summertime running around and doing all that stuff until I hit a certain age. But then I started hanging out with my homegirls and stuff like that. So I'm not sure what you mean by a tomboy. I just roll with the punches,
That's who I am. That's who we are. Okay, but I done digress because I done got happy with that part. All right.
Yeah, I just grew up with my brothers and my father, so I know how to be cool with men without it. You know what I'm saying? I just know how to be cool. That's all.
So let me just go on and continue with the rest. All right. AI goes on to say, You were worth a 400-year machine. Yes. Think about what that means about your power, says AI. Now go live like you finally believe it. I know that's right.
Yeah, see, I'm Stone Mountain shouting.
I know that's right. So if this reached something in you, share it with a sister who needs to hear it. Send it to the woman in your life who's been made to feel small lately. Drop one word in the comments. What does free look like for you? And I'm reading them. So let's build this in what? Information. Now look here. Look here. Now my name is Larissa. And I am indeed the People's Reporter. Why? Because I got to come report to the people, baby. And I might be new here, but I got a whole lot to say. Okay? We're going to talk about the images that are constantly plagued. If you really just peep television and these reality shows. And
all right. And that is the end of that. She was just, you know what I'm saying, definitely giving herself a plug. Let me see if this is, oh, damn. Let me get it back over here to put her her link in the chat. Give me a second, please. Okay, let me see here. All right, so this is the People's Reporter. This is who we was reviewing earlier. Sis be spitting. Definitely go follow. There's a lot of she has a lot of videos asking AI series, you know what I'm saying? So she asks AI a whole bunch of different questions and stuff like that, and she reads exactly what it says, which I think is pretty freaking genius. You feel me? Because this is, I mean, it just sparks from one idea or one question from her, and then she just reads AI's answer and puts her own, you know, her pizzazz. But see, that's, y'all got to give it up to the Black woman, man, because she just didn't. She made it entertaining. Y'all thought that she was cooking like that, right? When it was AI the whole time. But she was confident with her words. You know what I'm saying? She knew how to, you know, how to actually what cadence and what speed she wanted to be at. You know what I'm saying? She definitely put in lots of personality. Like, man, like she did a good job, and that was a great idea because she's got a whole series of them. So yeah, definitely check her out. I appreciate, you know, her definitely providing that content, because I don't know, like I said, there's so much that comes into my algorithm that's different. But like this video in particular was like 22 minutes. I knew, I was like, damn, I'm not going to get through this if I open up a panel, but I have to get this out because, like I said, the other night, I just get tired of the hyperbolic, bitter baby daddy statements. Like, fine, I bet you if you find, like I said, the right person, or you just kind of stop putting so much importance on one person in terms of your happiness and all this other stuff, like, you ain't got to walk around with so much hatred. Like, it doesn't have to be that, it don't have to be that deep, man. What? But you got to stop being afraid to get on one of my bonus that sound like I don't know, like you trying to, you know what I'm saying, peer pressure me into some, oh, so you scared? You gotta tell me what you're talking about. China cafeteria, nah. This was homecoming dinner, 10th grade, goddamn, like shit. Yeah, Bahama Breeze, but China cafeteria, I don't know about that one. But we can go to the west side. I was just telling my mom, I was like, that's the first and only place that I ever, that's when I first discovered American Deli, was in the West End Mall, man. I go get me some shoes and then go get some American Deli. And then when I got tired of American Deli, I go across the street to Gut Busters on the corner, shawty, with them Philly cheesesteaks. Oh my goodness. So good. And it was like the black bookstore was like 2 doors down. I mean, they always had their door open with the incense burning right at the threshold. They had all types of esoteric books in there. I was like, man, hell yeah. I love the West End. Shouts out to them. Busy Bee, AUC, MLK, Ralph David Abernathy. Yeah, I know about the West Side. Oh, Fellini's is on Ponce. Before you get to Little 5 Points, they had a Savage Pizza in Little 5. Yeah, it was a black Greek. Yes, that's it. That's it. Yes, I'm like, I don't even want to pledge. Let me just be nosy and read up on it first. Let me be nosy. Hey, Tulo Keezy. I'm David on the spot. Yes, the beautiful. I've only been there one time, but it was good. I like the breakfast. You know, the staff was lovely. I'll say that. That's true Southern hospitality right there. Yeah. Pascal's. That's that French shit, huh? French soul food. I don't know if I can get down with that. Never been to Mary Mac's. Been to Eats plenty of times. Yep. Back down memory lane. Y'all done taking me back now, because I don't really get out the way I used to. But when I was riding around and getting it, is mine. I'm spending it. That's what I'm saying. Y'all gotta find the right ones, man. Y'all gotta find the right ones. And after I did all of that, my brother be off of, off of for break or something like that. He went to, while he was going to UGA. I bring him back down to the city, take him to Fogo de Chao. You feel me? His first time being. Oh man, that's birthday dinner every year. My mama put me on 2 Urban Licks. I love that. The train in the back is amazing. Okay, Coffee is just like, okay, he's so Atlanta right now. He's so Atlanta. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the show, you guys. Thank everybody for coming through. I normally don't go this late. But if y'all are ever in the Atlanta area, y'all see all of Coffee's wonderful recommendations. I co-signed damn near every single one of these. So yeah, write some stuff down or whatever, because you can't lose. You can't lose with one of those, you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you guys for coming through, sliding through, engaging in the chat, not beating me up too bad, you know what I'm saying? Because I know the title was a bit oh Lord, what she finna say, but you just never know. Y'all gotta ride with me sometimes. Trust your girl. Like, I'm not trying to ever hurt people's feelings. I'm trying to broaden perspectives, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to just show a different side or a different thought process, especially like I said, when I have to sit and I try to enjoy, certain channels, and I get it, everybody lets up who they want to let up. Thank you so much, Miss Joy. They let up who they want to let up, and I just have, sometimes us ladies, we just gotta wait it out until that person leaves, but it doesn't mean that it hurts any, it hurts any less. That should be hurtful. To be completely honest, if I was hearing a woman, like on the ladies' night show or any other panel that I was on, going in on men in general, like, I'd be like, damn, what's wrong with you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's when I would really say something, because I'd be like, wait a minute, because we can be a little bit more balanced in this, but I get it, it's a man's world, so we got to just live in it. But then at the same time, you can't be upset with how we create our own boundaries and how we choose and pick and choose to play the game. Okay, because me personally, I only know what my little heart can handle. I can't handle all that, you know what I'm saying? So if you try to get all rah and extra, and this is, okay, well, I'm gonna let you find. I'm not the one for you, sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? Good luck to you. I wish you all the best in the world. You feel me? And there's no love lost, but I can't do it. Won't do it. And it's not stubbornness. It's just mostly I know myself. I know myself. I know what I can deal with and what I can't deal with. I'm not going for a lot of this shit. And I'm not going to pretend like I can just so I can get you. Like, to me, that's I wouldn't appreciate that being done to any one of my loved ones. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to do it to somebody else's loved one. But, you know, the appreciation level has to get up. You know what I'm saying? And I just mean in people who look like you, people who's a part of your community. It could be strangers. Just offer them head nod, smile, especially if it's a place that you frequent, man. Look up, you know, or look out for each other. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be that deep. It doesn't have to be that deep. It doesn't have to be that hurtful. What's going on, 18th letter? Appreciate you for sliding through. About to end the show, but the replay would be fire for you. I want you to listen to this 18th letter, because you definitely be having yourself to say, and I know that you have your grievances, but I just want you to listen to my premise. You know what I mean? I laid it out in a nice, entertaining package for you. So, you know, I think that you'll like it on the replay. I think that you'll like it on the replay. 18th, he's my sparring partner. You know what I'm saying? He keeps me on my toes when it comes to this man woman stuff. I'll be like, damn, I always gotta have the, you know what I'm saying, to have the knives like tucked in my side pockets or behind my back or something, because I just never know when he gonna want it. No, I'm just playing. It's all love. It's all love. All right, y'all. Well, again, this just goes back to expectations. You know, I didn't know that we were in control of so much, you know what I'm saying? But now, since I know the extent of my power, even though, you know, I was told that I'm the weaker vessel, I am the more childish like vessel, I need to be led, you know what I'm saying? All these things. I'm going to take what y'all, you know, what is being said into consideration, because like I said, I had no idea that we were, you know, just this in control. I didn't know we had this much control. Okay. So I will be responsible, okay, from here on out. And I also would just like to say, if that's the case, then again, give us the keys, fellas. Y'all sit in the passenger seat or lay down in the back seat and take a nap, but make sure your ego is put in the trunk. We'll see you next time, y'all. Peace out.
The world is a real place where things aren't perfect. It's all about the journey. And where are you going? Fire in my eyes, I keep on growing. This is a little personal. The LA Project